Bespoke radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Welcome. Fade to Black. Bespoke radio for the masses. Yeah. How you doing? It's Thursday, January 31st, 2019. 31 days into the new year, just 334 days left. Got this month out of the way, didn't we? We are live from a bunker somewhere in the middle of beautiful downtown Burbank, California. And I would like to welcome everybody listening all around the world, all across the United States. Hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south, far and near. This is Fade to Black for KJCR, the Game Changer Network, and KGRA, the planet. I am your host, Jimmy Church. What is cracking, everybody? How you doing? It's Thursday night. That's right. It's the best night of the week. Hanging out with all of you. Open lines all night long. The new call-in number is 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. Aight. The other numbers are there for backups. They're still live. But there you go. We're breaking in this new phone system. It's pretty solid. It's pretty good. I think by next week, next Thursday night, it's going to be all good. We'll be working on things all weekend long. Got lots to do this weekend. And I'm here to tell you, my honey-do list from Rita. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, the phones are already filling up. Look. I'm going to open up the phone lines, and it's going to be a while because at the bottom of the hour tonight, we've got a very, very special surprise guest and a worldwide exclusive announcement tonight going down on Fade to Black. It will be at the bottom of the hour. Okay, so just stay tuned for that. Look at guys. I just said phone lines. Do you want me to turn them off? Okay, it's going to be a while, but we'll open up the phones for the rest of the night here shortly. All right, don't forget to go hit us up all on social media, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Everything is Jimmy Church or Fade to Black. It's all right there. Go over to jimmychurchradio.com and click on Twitter. It's at JChurchRadio. Okay, at JChurchRadio. Follow us on Twitter. And every Thursday night, I kind of take a little bit of time to get things clear, because tonight's the night where I get to just hang out with all of you and have fun and have conversations. We've got lots of announcements and things that are coming up on the show, and that I spent my day with conference calls and some things, and I'm telling you, there is some exciting things that are happening. Okay, so we're going to get through all of that. Follow us on social media. Those announcements will be happening there, too, as well, at J Church Radio. but hashtag F2B is the sandbox on Twitter. And we will, especially tonight on a Fadernight open lines, we're going to go through 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 tweets happen during the broadcast. So come over and hang out with us. It's all in real time. Hashtag F2B is the sandbox. I want you to understand, we use TweetDeck. And if you don't have TweetDeck, if you're on Twitter, go and get TweetDeck. Download it, get it installed. It will change your life. It's a whole nother situation what Twitter can be when you use TweetDeck. I run 4 columns. You can run as many as you want. I run 4. I run myself. I run hashtag F2B. I run hashtag F2BQ and Rita down on the end. And it's all right in front of me. I get to see everybody's conversations. But I don't have to hit notifications. I don't have to click. It's all automatic and just clicks through. Okay, so you can get a hashtag F2B column, which is what you should do. Hashtag F2BQ column, one for you, so you can see people that tweet you directly, and then pick out some of your friends and put those up there too as well. And then it all happens automatically, and we use TweetDeck. Get TweetDeck. All right. Are we clearly understanding what I am saying here? I think so. Okay, now you can email throughout the show, jimmy@jimmychurchradio.com. All right? Let's get all of this stuff going here. Craziness today. Because yesterday, Apple's ongoing quarrel with Facebook came to a head. And today, thousands of employees at the world's largest social media network, Facebook, were locked out of numerous apps that they have become dependent on to meet their basic needs. What am I talking about? Well, all the reports were today was that chaos broke out at Facebook headquarters after employees of Facebook realized that they had been shut out from using a wide range of internal iOS apps on their iPhones. When workers went to open Instagram, Messenger, and Facebook itself, they found to their horror that the apps simply would not launch. Apple decided to pull rank after it was revealed that Facebook had been using their developer program to siphon data from users in direct violation of App Store privacy policies. Allegedly, Facebook was even paying users as young as 13 in exchange for unlimited access to their private information, all for about $20 per month. That's right. A few hours after the expose was published by TechCrunch, Apple blocked the research app, it's called a research app, from the App Store and shut Facebook out of the enterprise developer program altogether. On top of the fact that the company is no longer able to test their apps on iOS, Facebook employees using beta versions of numerous apps suddenly found that their access had been revoked. Thousands of the company's workers are said to be using these unreleased builds to do everyday things like checking the lunch menu or getting a taxi or a ride. Employees told the Business Insider that they were pissed, that they were angry, and that they had been locked out of their custom apps, which even resulted in rampant paranoia and conspiracy theories that Apple was trying to take Facebook down altogether. Unbelievable. So, you have to imagine what's going on here, right? The brainiacs, the developers, these engineers at Facebook, and you don't even have to be an engineer, just smart and sharing apps, writing these apps with this developer program with Apple and using them themselves, right? Think about this for a second. And everybody was doing it. They got caught, and now the apps have been removed from the App Store, and Facebook has been cut out of the iOS developer network. That's a really big deal. Yeah, and we have not heard the end of this. Next, all right, the UN UFO contact video. I took a real close look at it today, and I got a hold of the original video with Turkey's Erdogan, and I compared them side by side, as others have done as well. But I did it myself today in the bunker. I analyzed it. I freeze-framed it. I did screen grabs and so forth. And so for now, I think it can be put to bed. The ET contact video with Alaya in it is a fake video. Now, I'm sure we're going to be talking about it later tonight on the show. I posted 2 images on Twitter that should explain it all. And in the original video, the UN version, crisp and clear, perfect, awesome colors, everything balanced. It's shot with a professional camera on a tripod. You can see that it's not moving. It's stable. It's perfect. It's everything. The alleged UN contact video, same video, took Erdogan out and put Alaya in. And the Alaya video is a little fuzzy. They tried to make it look like, you remember, it's a hidden camera video, right? And so they made it look unstable and had it move around. And you can do all. And when you look at the original video from the United Nations, it has everything that I said about what was missing in the alleged video, which is the audio. Look at the UN video. Audio perfect. Everything's fine. Everything's great. You look at the other one. So for now, I'm putting this into it's a fake video file. All right. Lots of smart people out there on the internet, and when this got posted, this made its way around. People are going to find the original video, which they did. They're going to put them side by side, which they did. They're going to post the videos, and you're able to look at them, and it's all up there now. And Karen McIntyre just retweeted this on Twitter. And you can see these 2 images, these screen grabs that I got. Everybody, you see Erdogan, right? He's right there. You see everybody in the video here is the exact same, because it's the same video. And then you look at the fixed video, and you can see it's just not right, right? But everything is still the same in the video. It's pretty funny. So that's up on Twitter. You can look at my 2 images, and if you scroll through the sandbox hashtag F2B, there are plenty of side by sides that have been posted up over the last few hours, so you can look at both of them. All right, and it's all up there. So that's it. I'm putting a fork in it for now. Coming up in 3 short weeks is the 2019 Conscious Life Expo right here in Los Angeles, California at the LAX Hilton. It is February 22nd through February 25th, celebrating the 50th anniversary of Chariots of the Gods with Eric Von Daniken. Just click on the Conscious Life banner right there at jimmychurchradio.com. The Friday night Ancient Aliens panel with Eric, you have to get tickets for. So go to consciouslifeexpo.com. It's right there. Full conference schedule, tickets, information, everything that you need is right there, consciouslifeexpo.com. Right after that is Contact in the Desert. That is coming up May 31st through June 3rd in Indian Wells, Palm Spring, California at the Renaissance Indian Wells Resort and Spa. Tickets and info are over at contactinthedesert.com. Right after that is our 2019 Soul Tech Conference, which is over the July 4th weekend at the Sunrise Ranch in Loveland, Colorado. For tickets and info, you need to sign up and get on the waiting list, and you do that at soultechgathering.com. Okay? All right? And we will make all of the announcements next week about Soul Tech, but when those tickets go on sale, they're going to everybody on the waiting list first. Okay? All right. You've been warned. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast. It's just $2 per month. We have over 985 shows. 985 shows right there. Okay? It is just $2 per month. Click on the podcast banner at jimmychurchradio.com. You can also become a Fadernight in our membership section over at jimmychurchradio.com. Click on it, get whatever you want. You can get downloadable commercial-free archives, MP3s. You get a private email to me. You can get autographed shirts and hats. You get the bunker camp. You get all of that and much more right over in our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com. All right, let's get the show cracking. Happy birthday to today. Justin Timberlake is just 37 years old. Minnie Driver is 48. Gross Point Blank. Love that movie. Our dead guy's birthday today is Carol Channing. 1921 to 2019. Recently passed away at the age of 97. Broadway veteran comedian who is best known for her roles in Hello, Dolly and Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. She received an Oscar nomination, a Golden Globe Award, and 3 Tony Awards. She's one of the funniest, seriously, of all time. She passed away 2 weeks ago of natural causes at her home in Rancho Mirage, California. On this day in history, 1961, it was Ham the Chimp. He traveled to outer space and survived the U.S. Mercury program test flight with just a bruised nose on this day in 1961. All right, here's your Fader fact. If drivers adhere to the 45-mile-per-hour speed limit on a stretch of Route 66 in New Mexico, the road's rumble strips will play a rendition of America the Beautiful. And that is your Fader fact. All right. Tonight's Fader Night. Open lines all night long. The new call-in number is 747-228-2051. Again, 747-228-2051. All right. So now, let's talk for a second. Let me hit this River Moon coffee. Best. Got to keep the tradition going, right? Before I go off, I drink River Moon coffee. Fade to Black blend. So last week, I had mentioned that I have no memory of sleeping in my bedroom back in the 4th and 5th grade. I still don't know why. Yes, it's true. I really don't have any memory of it. And I kind of remember my bedroom. You know, I mean, I know it was there, and I can go and find the apartment on Google Earth and look at the apartment, and I remember the bedroom windows, and I can look right there and see it. But I don't remember the bedroom. Don't remember any dressers. Don't remember the beds. I don't. I have a few memories of being in there, of course, but that's about it. But here is the strange thing. Today, I was sent something about an old friend of mine. His name is Brian Markovich. And back in the 80s, Brian had a big rehearsal facility out in West Covina, La Puente, Pomona area out there just east of Los Angeles. It's called Rock. And he was also a drummer of note back in the day. And he was a promoter, club promoter, and did some things, right? He, had a career. And he was also a friend of everybody in the rock and roll scene. And I worked with Brian on many different projects, and I played guitar in one of his bands for a brief moment. I don't even think we played any gigs. I think we just rehearsed. But we were friends, and he was a great guy. But anyway, let me get back to this. Today, as I was thinking about the different things we did together, somebody had sent me a link about Brian, and that's what got me on this whole trip, right? I was like, oh, Brian Markovich, yeah, I remember Brian. And I remembered that we had gotten into a Battle of the Bands gig that he had produced. And we ended up playing at the Pomona Valley Auditorium in Pomona. Yeah, it's a big hall. It was a big gig, actually. And I remember being in the alley behind the Pomona Valley Auditorium after the show with our crew and some friends. I remember that, but I don't remember the show or the sound check. Strange, right? I don't remember it. And what is funny here is that I pretty much remember something from every show, every gig that I've ever played. I really do. I remember something from, but not the Pomona Valley Auditorium gig. It's been erased. I don't remember it. I don't remember a thing. Nothing. It's like it never happened. Now, why is this so important? Well, think about it. If someone hadn't sent me the link about Bryant today, I would have never tried to remember the gig. That gig has been erased from my hard drive. It's gone. I don't remember it. So for those that have missing time, how would they know? Looking back, if something was missing, and if it's not there to begin with, right? Well, it's gone. It's not there to remember that you don't remember it. Now follow me. If you don't have the luck of checking the time before and after some missing time, well, simply, you have nothing. If you don't know that something is missing, and you can't know because it's not there, it's not stored, it's not saved. Think about what I am saying. If you're walking alone in the woods, you've got nobody with you, you are alone, and you don't look at your watch, right? You don't look at your watch, you're just walking in the woods, and something happens, and that's it. And then later on in life, if you go back to the wood situation, if you didn't look at your watch and go, oh, wait a minute, I'm missing an hour, right? And you didn't do that, and you don't have a friend with you, and something happened and it's been removed, you can't remember that. It's gone. You remember everything up. It's like an edited video. It's not there, right? You don't even know that something is missing. You don't know what causes this missing time. What causes this memory loss? How many of us have chunks of our past that are lost forever and we don't even know about it? Right? If you think about it, how many times have you heard somebody go, hey, man, remember that? You were there? No, I wasn't. Yes, you were. You were there. No, I wasn't. I don't remember that. Dude, you were there. No, I wasn't. How many times has this happened? Well, in that case, at least there was a witness, somebody that will tell you about it. But when you are alone in the woods where there isn't anybody there to remind you about it later, that missing time or memory is something that you will never know anything about. Ever. Because it just doesn't exist. It's a very interesting situation. And this thing with the Pomona Valley Auditorium, this thing, a couple of times over the years, specifically, people have brought that gig up to me that were there. Last year at the NAMM show, Kenny Marquez were hanging out with some friends, and he brings up the PVA gig. And I have nothing to add to it. I got to just nod my head. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I don't remember it. I simply don't have anything. I don't remember the inside of the building. I don't remember the stage. I don't remember my guitars. I don't remember. It's not there. But if Kenny didn't remind me of it, I got nothing. Today, when I was actually talking to Jason Quidd. Jason Quidd is over in Japan. And we were talking about some stuff that we're working on. And one of them happens to be missing time. You know, what goes down with this? And I have said many times about my little experience where I had somebody in the corner of my room, something in the corner of the room that lasted for about 15 minutes. And many regression therapists that I know that have heard that story have asked me to go and get regressed, to go back and remember, possibly if something had happened there. And I don't want to do it. I don't want to visit that. I don't want to experience it. Whatever happened. But the point is, I was alone. So there's nobody there to tell me, oh, this happened. No. For me, it was 15 minutes with this thing. I jumped up. I came back. He's gone. That's all I've got. Because there's nobody to tell me anything else. There is no witness. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's one of the craziest parts all of us have to go through. Because if you have singularly events in your life that this could have happened, and unless you have somebody there, or unless you looked at your watch before or after, you don't know. You simply do not. So this is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. I want to talk about missing time tonight. We've got a lot of other subjects that are on the table. I want to talk about this United Nations video. I want to talk about deep fakes. And coming up after the break, I'm going to be visited, and with the rest of you, by a very special guest. So stay put. Who is it? Well, you know what? I got a secret. We're going to do that in just a minute right after this short break. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. It is Fadernight. Open lines all night long. I'm going to open up the phones. All these calls are sitting here. If you're on hold, you know what? I'm going to bring in one call and just let it park. I'll be right back after this short break. Stay with us.
This is Nicole Church, daughter of you-know-who, and you're listening to Fade to Black on JimmyChurchRadio.com and the Game Changer Network.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net. KGRA Radio. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Yes, Rivermoon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Just click on the banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can get our podcast for just $2 per month. All you have to do is click on the podcast banner over at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Hey, folks. Guess what the number one phrase that Life Change Tea receives by email? You ready? We love this tea. We love this tea. Time after time, week after week, we love this tea. Life Change Tea gives you more energy, a beautiful cleansing, and fulfills its slogan perfectly. The tea that makes you go. So if you want to be on your health game, log on to getthetea.com and order Life Change Super Strength Tea. Packages come in a 1-month supply, and when you brew this stuff, wait until you see the results. Aren't we all about the results? And with a lot of people's health struggling, we can use a little bit of help. Doctors will tell you disease starts in the gut. So log on to getthet.com. That's getthet.com. Be our next email saying, I love this tea. I love this tea. Get the tea at getthet.com. Helping America one tea bag at a time.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, The Planet.
Do you want to lose weight but have no idea where to begin? The Fast Start Diet, a 3-day weight loss plan, is the answer. 3 days of nutritionally balanced, calorie-restricted meals delivered right to your door. No shopping, no measuring, and no cooking. Everything is prepared for you and ready to eat at home or on the go. The Fast Start Diet has all the amazing benefits of intermittent fasting without starving. We've helped thousands of people who have struggled to reach their weight loss goals. Isn't it time we helped you? With the Fast Start Diet, you'll lose weight and feel great.
Find Fast Start Diet on Amazon or go to faststartdiet.com and use promo code TALK to get 10% off your first box. And as a special bonus, Fast Start will include their #1 rated Lipo3 appetite suppressant spray free with your order. This is Jimmy Church. And whatever your diet plans are, do what I did. Go to faststartdiet.com.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Massey, and you're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. Thursday night, Fadernight. We're going to open up the phone lines at the top of the hour, so everybody just relax. Because right now I'm going to bring on a very, very special guest. And I'm going to say this. It's Damon T. Berry. The last time I spoke to Mr. Berry was on October 6th, 2017 on Coast to Coast AM. Since then, we have struggled to make contact. There has been a lot of things that have gone down. And I'm going to say this before I bring on Damon. A lot of you out there have reached out to me, not only on social media, via email, Facebook, on Stellar, asking to reach out to Damon, that there was something going on, and they were concerned. I was concerned, and I am going to be very serious here for a second and just say that the attempts for us to make contact went both ways, Damon to me and me to Damon. I successfully finally made contact yesterday. I would like to bring back to Fade to Black Mr. Damon T. Berry. Damon, good evening, and how are you?
Thank you so much, Jimmy. I mean, I'm doing fine, as well as can be. I'm just glad that we finally had a chance to connect, because like I said, I've been trying to connect with you for over a year, but you know, my email is monitored, my phone is monitored, so any type of contact with any media, they delete all contacts at all. So any messages you would have sent to me, any messages I sent to you, they completely deleted out of all of my emails, so that we could not ever make contact. So I'm just glad you finally called me today with my brand new phone, so I guess everything works out.
It was. I felt like it was a miracle, to be honest with you, and I want the audience to understand what Damon and I were going through. He would send me an email. It would come through. Jimmy, I'm hoping you're getting this. Please reply back now. I'd reply back, email immediately canceled and kicked back on a reply click. And then I would call, and this was happened repeatedly. And then when I would call Damon, I would get this very strange message, which was the average message that the call can't be completed as dialed. Not that the number's disconnected or that you've left planet Earth or whatever, that the call can't be completed as dialed. It's like, I could call anybody else, but I could never get through to you. Very, very strange. And so then today, I can show everybody. I'll show everybody on my phone. Damon and I are trading phone calls today, and it kept saying call failed in the middle of the conversation. That never happens. I mean, it just never happens. Call failed. But we pulled it off, and you're here tonight. What do you think ultimately is going on?
Well, they've made it quite clear to me back in, I think the last conversation you and I had was in 2017. I had just released The Knowledge of the Forever Time number 8. So during that time, I released an audio of the government comes in your house. So if ever you're doing something the government does not like, they don't knock on your door and they don't say, hey, don't do this anymore, or hey, we don't like what you're doing, stop it. It's not how they do it. You'll come home, your house will have been broken into, and they take everything that you have. And can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, yeah. Okay, they take everything that you have. So right around 2017, the last one that I had with you, there's an audio recording that's called The Mysterious Making of the 8. And I have it on YouTube. And it's just an audio because when they come in your house, you know when somebody's been in your house, but you can't prove it. There's something about you doesn't feel right. So what I did was I got spy cams, nanny cams, put them all over the house because I said something's going on. And the next day when I find the nanny cams, every last one of them are smashed, broken to pieces. So I can't figure out how are they knowing where the nanny cams are. I won't even tell anyone in my house. I won't tell any of my family members what I'm bringing in the house. So I tried again, brought more nanny cams, a hidden pocket watch, wall clock, a flower, these little things that nanny cams come in, and the wall socket that looks like a USB charger.
Right.
Placed them all over our house, paid about 5 of them. Next morning, every last one of them smashed, just destroyed. So I kind of figured the only way they're knowing this is the house is wired. The house is wired with listening devices, and it's also wired with cameras. So when you get on the United States government's radar, your house is under 24-hour surveillance because they don't want you to say anything to the media that they don't want out there. So once they wire your house, they control anything that you have that's electronic. So a phone, games, tablets, emails, anything you use that's electronic, they take complete control. So, for example, I have a Google account, and I'll go to my Google account from YouTube, and it'll say, hey, interview request, KABC, Los Angeles. So before I can even click the email, it gets deleted. So when I go to the spam folder to try to retrieve it, before I can even click it, it gets deleted again. So every time any type of newspaper, magazine, radio, or television reached out for any type of interview or information, it's completely deleted. And you and I have talked for a long time for the last couple of years. So I could pick up the phone and call you and say, hey, Jimmy, how you doing?
Right.
But when I go to my phone, any contacts that I have in my phone relating to media, radio, television, anything like that, those contacts are deleted out of my contacts. So when they come in and take over complete control. And if you listen to the audio on The Mysterious Making of the 8 on YouTube, I figured out a way to prove that somebody was coming in. They look for cameras. So what I did was I had an old iPhone, and the old iPhone didn't work, but the recording still worked on it, the audio. So one day, I picked up the iPhone and just pressed record, put it down, left the house. Came back in, and I was blown away because it's literally a whole crew in your house. They're pulling down air vents. They're pulling up the toilet. They're pulling up different things around your house. They're on your computer, putting spyware and viruses that feed information to any keystroke that you make to another location. So when I listened to the audio, it made all sense because they take down your air vents because that's where they place the cameras. They want a bird's eye view of your house.
Right.
So everything in your house is completely wired, cameras, every single room in the house, including the bathroom, and they take complete control. And from then on, that's when they really start letting you know, we don't like what you're doing. And they're not giving you an option to leave because they take your passport. That's the first thing they do when they come in your house. They take any passports or any way for you to leave the country. So they take your passport and you can't leave. but then they begin to do things to you just to make your life miserable. For example, if your car is out front, they get a key fob made of your car. So you'll sit in your house and you'll hear the horn of your car go off. You'll go out, you'll click it with your key fob, make sure it's okay. You'll come back in, sit down. Later on, you'll come back out and your car is started. It's running. So you'll turn it off, come back in. Next morning, your car is moved around the block.
No.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
And see, it's got to be, it takes your comfort zone to another level in that you can't be yourself anymore. Either in your own home, you're the king of your castle. Now you can't be yourself. It is now clouding your mind. And that includes now leaving your house or going anywhere. Now you are completely disrupted. You're taking off your game.
Oh, it's worse than that, because what they don't do is they don't tell you what it is that's offensive to the United States government. They don't tell you that. So you never know. But what you end up learning is whatever is in the Knowledge of the Forever Time series, they won't tell me what it is. So I don't know what I'm saying that's causing a national security threat. And that's what I am. I'm considered a national security threat. And as a national security threat, you are considered an enemy of the state. And as an enemy of the state, you no longer have any providers or services provided by the United States or the Constitution, which means if somebody comes in my house, breaks in, which has happened, I go to the local sheriff, I tell him what happened. The sheriff will look at me and say, we'll get somebody out there to check it out. Next thing you know, he'll call me back 2 minutes later. Damon Berry, right? I said, yes, sir. Can't help you. Said,
do you remember? I know. And going back to our first interviews, it seems like those were the good old days. Where we were just talking about that, the beauty of the information that you were excited about the next production, and you were doing this and that. And as our conversations continued over that year, you were getting more and more alarmed. And in the beginning, you were just questioning your own sanity, right?
Exactly.
But it degraded to the very last conversation that we had. And that was it, everybody. I want everybody to understand that conversation on Coast to Coast on October 6, 2017 was the last time that Damon and I talked. And it was very regular, our contact before that. And it's been almost, it's been a year, and I can't even believe it. Yeah, we didn't talk at all in 2018, and it's been a year and 4 months. Now, okay, let's talk about what's going on right now. You just posted a new video up where you make a few announcements there. Let's talk about that. And then there's something else that's coming in the very near future. But you posted a video that caused a reaction. Everybody knows about our relationship, right? And so you post a video like that. My email is filled, right? Jimmy, what's going on?
I never thought I would ever talk to you again. To be honest with you,
right.
I never thought I would ever speak to you again.
It was rough this last year and a half. So tell us about this. This new video. What's your message in the video?
Okay, I just launched a next series. It's just a podcast, and it's called "The Last Days of Damon T. Berry" or "The Last Words of Damon T. Berry," and it's really just a podcast to tell what happened, my journey, how I came to understand all these things that I know, how all this knowledge came to me. And it really shows you how it all began. But the reason that I post the last days or the last words is because when I told you before, when you're considered an enemy of the state, no services provided by the United States or its constitutions are offered to you anymore. You don't have any rights as a person anymore. So when you're deemed a threat to national security, you're an enemy of the state. So, for example, when I was telling you about somebody broke in, they took all of my film files, they took anything from the Knowledge of the Forever Time, they stole. Anything that I made, scripts, movie clips, they took anything that said Knowledge of the Forever Time. So I'm reporting it to the sheriff. Sheriff comes back, you're Damon T. Berry, right? I said, yes, sir. Can't help you. I said, you're not even going to come out and investigate? No, I'm sorry, we can't help you. Hangs the phone up. So then it happens again. I go to my local police. Hey, this is where they break in, and, they got fingerprints all over. Would you guys come out and investigate? Yeah, we'll be right out there. A minute later, yeah, is this Damon T. Berry? Yeah, can't help you. What do you mean? You're not going to investigate? I'm sorry, we can't help you. Hangs the phone up. So then, I read online, if anyone's stealing films and stuff like that, you call the FBI or the CIA. So I called the CIA, called the FBI. Yes, we can handle that, but hang on. Sorry, we can't help you. We can't help you. So everybody won't help me. So I started feeling really, ever since I made Knowledge of the Forever Time 1, 2, and 3, but number 3, this is 2017, I went to the hospital and the doctor said, hey, you've got some real anomalies happening to you in your body. We need to do an endoscopy, a colonoscopy, and give you a full workup. So he did the full workup, and I went back, and he says, you have 2 different types of cancer right now, and I don't know where you developed it because we didn't see this coming, and you have 2 other strange viruses in your stomach, and we don't know what they are. So, I used to work for the government, so you have to be deployable, and deployable means you got to be able to go all over the world and be 100% good shape. So I was always kept myself in good shape, but, after the Knowledge of the Forever Time, I have suddenly 2 different types of cancer. He says I have some types of viruses in my stomach. They don't know what it is. They don't know what's causing it. So he tells me to come back, and they'll do a biopsy. So I come back a week later, and as soon as I knock on the doctor's door to see him, there's 5 government cars surrounding his office. There's just government license plates all around his doctor's office. I walk in, I say, hey, doctor, I'm ready to talk about the biopsy. He meets me at the door and says, I can't help you. What do you mean you can't? I'm sorry, I can't help you anymore. I said, yeah, but you were going to tell me what I'm supposed to do about my cancer. I'm sorry, I'm not able to help you anymore. Close the door on me. So he told me a year later I would be full-blown cancer. Wouldn't know how long I lived after that. So found another doctor. I told him on the phone what my situation was. He says, oh, that doesn't sound like a good doctor to me. Come on over and we'll take care of you. So I go to his office, get there. There's 10 government cars surrounding his office.
Wow.
I walk in. He says, sorry, I can't help you. I said, what do you just told me to come in for an appointment. I can't help you. I'm sorry, I cannot help you. Couldn't see him. Last one I tried, she was a nice lady, and she said, listen, we are here to help people. That's what a doctor is supposed to do. We take a Hippocratic oath, and that's what we're sworn to do, and not serve government, but to serve people. So she told me, come on in, I'll take care of you. Get to her office, same story, 5 or 6 government cars there. I walk inside. I'm sorry, I can't help you. I tried, but I cannot help you. You have to leave. I'm sorry. So because I know that I have 2 different types of cancer, the government makes sure that no one can see me. No one will treat me. So I don't know how long I have to live. I don't know how far along that it has progressed. But the one thing that I have learned is the United States is an open society, and it's not like Russia. It's not like China. It's not like North Korea. When North Korea, communist country, you're speaking things that they don't want you to say, somebody walks up to you with a bottle of plutonium, sprays it on your face, you're poisoned, you're gone. The United States doesn't do it like that because it's an open society. So what they do is they give you lethal diseases, cancer, liver failure, HIV. They give you diseases that look natural, but then cause you to stop talking and takes you away. So they don't want me to know how far along it's progressed. They don't want any doctor to help me because they want me eventually to just drop dead. And the sad part about it is their operatives literally tell me this on YouTube. So that's where I am.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And you have an opportunity. Well, certainly right now you're speaking out live on the radio about this. So that's part of it. It's like a timestamp. This is a historical document now, right? Okay. So we've got this on lockdown. And you're going to attempt to get this podcast out there too, hopefully unmolested. And you also mentioned the possibility of a new video to be released too as well.
Yes.
Do we have a timetable around the? Yeah, let's go ahead and announce it.
I'm hoping to get it done in the next 2 weeks. The problem is, remember, they control anything electronic. So if I'm building a film and I'm creating it, they have the ability to turn individual sockets off in your home. So if I'm saying anything or producing anything in a film that they think is disagreeable, they just pull the power at that particular socket and it turns off my computers. So if I turn them back on, I can start producing it. But the one thing that's the problem is every time I'm creating a film, they're playing with it while I'm creating it. While I'm creating it, they'll delete film clips, they'll delete audio, they'll delete all these different things. And when I think it's finished, I have to go back and do it all over again.
Which happened on number 8.
It's the same thing on number 8, exactly. They did the exact same thing to me on number 8. So it's a way of frustrating you and slowing down your progress. And at the same time, it's a way of showing you we have the power to stop any of this when we want to.
So what is the message, do you think, that caused this? There's so much information in 1 through 8, right? Whether it's history or lost civilizations or E.T., the sun, all of those things were pretty extraordinary. The Black Knight satellite, too, as well. Do you think it was one thing? Where do you think you crossed the line? What was the?
To be honest, and I'm going to be as honest as possible. I really think it was number 5, the sun.
Yeah,
because the sun is, most people don't know that. I mean, our astrophysicists, our greatest scientists, have no knowledge of what the sun does. None of them do. And there's this historical record that dates back 70,000 years, and it's found all over the world telling us that sun is not what you think it is. There's an opening in there. You can go through it. It bends space. It creates a wormhole. So I think that has to be it, because in 2017, the last time you and I talked, the NASA released a probe that is traveling to the sun to find out what's inside of it.
Mm-hmm.
So it had to be that. I'm thinking it had to be that, but I'm not sure. So I really don't. It could be the UFOs, though. Somebody told me that too. They said, you're talking about Contact 2014, Contact IV in the Knowledge of the Forever Time. You're also saying something that no one has ever said before. You're showing that every video that we've ever seen on UFOs, they're actually making star constellation formations. It's a form of communication. Nobody's ever known that. So if the government has that information, it's a way for them to communicate. They don't want the world to know this. That could be the problem as well. And I didn't consider that. I never even considered it, but that could be a problem as well.
The next release, which hopefully is going to happen in 2 weeks, this is our tentative plan, everybody. So the release is going to happen, and then we're going to bring Damon back to Fade to Black, and probably Coast to Coast 2 as well, if everything goes all right. But we're going to do a full-blown 2.5-hour show. We will discuss the film and its content, and of course make the announcement for the podcast at that time. But I have to say, I'm looking at Twitter now, Damon. You have a lot of fans out there, and the conversations that we have had over the years, which has also exposed everybody to the Knowledge of the Forever Time, and that series. You have expanded knowledge out there, and the videos now, the series, which has been on Amazon and on Netflix, it's available there, of course, on YouTube, and it's been seen now by millions and millions of people. That part can't be reversed. And I thank you for that. I mean, if you think about how many people got the message, they tried to silence you, but that didn't really work, did it?
Well, I'm going to tell you, I met a really, really, really intelligent guy. He's probably one of the smartest guys I ever met. And I know he has experience in it. And he gave me the best advice I've ever heard. Because when this real started happening to me, it was really, really frustrating. And no matter who I talk to, they say, hey, we don't know what to do, man. Just relax. And, I just hope they don't kill you, that kind of thing. And I talked to this guy. His name is Jimmy Church. He said, let me tell you what we do. You know, sometimes we'll go out, lay out, grab a little beer, and we'll sit down and look at the sky. And believe it or not, you'll see things moving out there. You don't know what it is, but you know something's moving. And you told me this story about how, you know, you guys go out in the summer and you just look at the sky, and every now and then you'll see something moving that shouldn't be there. And you said to me, whenever you create something that everybody is all angry about and everybody's trying to get you for, you're on the right track.
That's it.
Because you're saying something that's true, because if it wasn't true, they wouldn't bother you. He said, if they're bothering you, you're doing something right.
You matter. You matter.
Keep going.
Yeah, you matter. They're not going to mess with somebody that doesn't matter, Damon. It's just the way that it is.
Great advice. Great advice.
Well, my friend, it was so great not only to have you on the show tonight, but for us to finally make contact. And I feel so much better, and I hope you do too.
I do. Thank you so much for having me.
And we will talk now. Now that you've got we've got a secret burner phone.
Okay. Now listen. The next movie coming out.
Yes.
It's called The Knowledge of the Afterworld.
Knowledge of the Afterworld, and in about 2 weeks.
Yes, and the trailer is already up on YouTube, but it's really a series that talks about what happens. We all know the world comes to an end, but it shows what happens once it does end. Because there's a progression that actually creates the new version of our world.
Damon T. Berry, keep rolling that rock uphill, my friend. Don't ever change. Don't ever change.
Thank you.
And I'll be in touch with you over the weekend. Thank you so much. It's great to hear your voice. Everybody is happy. We'll figure out a way forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too. Damon T. Berry. So there you have it. Okay, so we got 2 weeks for the new film, and we'll have Damon back, but he is okay, everybody. All right? We can relax a little bit, but let's keep our thoughts and prayers going straight towards Damon T. Berry. It's Fade to Black. I'll be right back. Going to open up the phone lines next. It's Fadernight. Stay with me.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station, Salt Lake City, Utah, Van Buren, Arkansas. Come join us for the 2019 Conscious Life Expo in Los Angeles at the LAX Hilton. This year, we are celebrating the 50th anniversary of Chariots of the Gods with Eric Von Daniken, and I'll be hosting the panel with Eric, Linda Moulton Howe, Jason Martell, Billy Carson, and join George Norrie, Nassim Haramain, Robert Schock, Damian Brinkley, Grant Cameron, Julia Mossbridge, and another 50 speakers who will be presenting at the 2019 Conscious Life Expo. Just go to ConsciousLifeExpo.com for tickets and a full conference schedule, or click on the CLE banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com. Go back, Lee Tappy.
Folks, this is very important information. What's to be said about CBD? AncientLifeOil.com. Our CBD is made from hemp and has 0.003 THC, which means this wonderful product won't get you high, no matter what amount you take. What does CBD do for the body? My hands are tied. But you can Google CBD benefits and be astounded. When you're finished reading, you'll want to log on to AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com. and purchase. Life is good when you feel good. People are tired of pain. People are asking for non-GMO organic products to help them with, you fill in the blank. Legal in 49 states, and again, our CBD is made from hemp. Ancient Life Oil is about helping people one by one by one. If you wonder how good the product is, the CEO takes it every day without miss. AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com. Have a great day.
Hello, I'm you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black, on the Game Changer Network and the KGRA Digital Broadcast Station.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier, and this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. Yes. We are of the Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And I'm Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. And you're listening to Jimmy Church. The Revolution.
Reclaim your active lifestyle with Angioprim. Angioprim is the original liquid oral chelation supplement. Chelation helps remove toxins, heavy metals, and cholesterol in your veins and arteries that can cause blockages. Scientific research proves the active ingredient in Angioprim has superior oral chelation action that helps promote cardiovascular health. Find out more. Go to angioprim.com. Talk to a trained consultant by calling Angioprim toll-free 877-882-7221.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can become an official Fadernight by just going to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com.
Hey, it's Grace. Can we talk about something serious for a minute? Your age. Getting old has its perks. But remember, being a few years younger, you know, your hair was thicker, you didn't have so many wrinkles, that extra weight wasn't haunting you, and you just felt better. Well, we can't turn back the clocks and go back 10 or 15 years, but you can start feeling and looking 10 or 15 years younger with Nature's Youth RSF. It's a doctor-formulated daily supplement that helps your body maintain its peak performance and fight the aging process. Imagine sleeping better, looking better, and feeling better. See how Nature's Youth RSF has helped thousands of people just like you at naturesyouth.com. Naturesyouth.com. Imagine how it will feel when your family and friends are asking you what you did to look so good. Your secret will be Nature's Youth RSF. It's time to start looking better and feeling better. Learn more and order your Nature's Youth RSF at naturesyouth.com. That's naturesyouth.com. That's naturesyouth.com.
Hello, this is Serena Wright Taylor from Conscious Life Expo, and you're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church, who holds the Lucky Pony record for the best astrological chart since 1963. True story.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black, across the globe on the Game Changer Radio Network and the one and only KGRA Radio, The Planet.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, it is Fadernight. Open lines all night long. Now, if you're on hold, stay right there. Okay? If you're on hold, stay right there. I'm going to get to everybody. I do want to thank Damon T. Berry for coming in tonight, and that was an absolutely amazing conversation. And the new film, number 9, will be out in about 2 weeks. We'll have Damon back to talk about that too as well. And the links are up in Twitter, and I just retweeted those. So you can go and check out the trailer for the new film, Mr. Damon T. Berry. Thank you so much. It was great to hear his voice. Got so much email and concern about what is going on. And so there you go. All right, let's go to the phones. You're up first on Fade to Black, Fadernight. Who's calling?
Hey, you got the Q. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Who's this?
It's the Q.
The Q?
The Q. That's what I'm going to go by, Jimmy. The Q.
I'm going to write that down so I don't forget it. The Q.
Yeah, I hope you do, man. While you got your pen and paper there.
Okay.
They say that. Listen, they say that math is the language of the universe, correct?
Well, they can say that, which means that's why I don't understand a thing.
Oh, man, because I was going to give you some math. I was going to connect a couple things together and see what y'all think and what the Fadernuts think.
Okay, what is it?
All right, listen, you're gonna write this down. 3 times 4 equals 12, right?
I think so, yep.
All right, if you add the 12 together, it equals 3, right?
If you add the 12 together, it equals...
Yeah, 1 and 2.
Oh, yeah, 1 and 2. Yeah, okay.
All right. 3 times 8 is 24, right?
Okay, hold on. Equals 3. 3 times 8 is 24?
That's right.
Okay.
And 2 plus 6? is, or 2 plus 4 is 6, right?
Okay, I got all those down.
Now 3 and 6 is 9, right?
3 and 6 is 9, yep.
Okay, whose favorite numbers were those? And then we'll connect it together.
Whose favorite numbers are those? 3 plus 6 equals 9.
No, 3, 6, 9.
3, 6, 9, Chicago.
Tesla.
Okay,
now the numbers I just gave you, 3. If you look at a triangle, it's 3-sided, correct?
Yes.
The Gaza pyramids, they're 3-sided.
4.
Now you take the 4. Well, no, if you're looking from one side, it's 3-sided, right? You got your triangle.
Okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes. Okay.
Now you take the 4 sides, 3 times 4. Now you got the 4 sides.
Right.
Okay, that's where we got the 3 from, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now you take, they say it's 8-sided, actually.
Yes, it is.
They say there's, okay, 3 times 8 is 24.
Right.
Is 6.
Right.
Okay, so now I've linked Tesla to the pyramid. Let's go with, they say that pi is in the pyramid, correct?
They do, yes.
What's pi? 31416, correct?
3.14. Is it 1.5 or 1.6?
1.16, you round up.
Okay.
Okay, let's take the 3, and then you got 1 and 4 is 3.
Right.
1 minus 4 is 3. 4 plus 1 is 3. So you take those 3s, now you've got 9.
Right.
The first number in pi is 3. The last number is 6. Now you've got 9.
Okay, got it.
3, 6, 9.
Mm-hmm.
It's connected to the pyramid and Tesla.
So
3, 6, 9.
Hang
on, here's the clincher.
Okay.
I got one more for you.
Okay.
Write the number down, 51, divided by 3.
51 divided by 3, it doesn't divide. What? Okay, so what's the
It
answer?
equals 17.
Okay.
17 plus 3 is 20.
Okay.
20 minus 3 is 666.
Okay.
Now we just had 3 3s. You take those 3 3s, add them to 666, you get 999. 369. Area 51.
Interesting. Interesting. So what do you think?
Here's one more for you. All right, one more.
Okay.
You play the strings back there. I'm sure you know 432.
Mm-hmm.
Divided by 12 equals 36. 3 plus 6 equals 9.
That's why these numbers are so elegant. And if you take, well, see, this is what is really interesting. If you take, well, pretty much anything, but anything that is pleasant to the eye, anything that makes sense. It could be a bar stool. It could be, well, I said a bar stool.
Yeah,
it could be.
How are you going to say pleasant to the eye, man? And they say math is the language of the universe.
But Q, this is what I am suggesting here. Yes, anything that is elegant to the eye, right? Mathematically, it is also pretty elegant. And there are reasons for that. These numbers are in everything. If something is out of whack to you, right? It's a bad design. It's a bad look. It's, it just looks incorrect. And then you try to get math to work with that. It doesn't work. Right?
Yeah, but see, what we're doing is absolute numbers. What is it? You bring the numbers to their absolute. It's vortex math.
Yeah, but do you understand what I'm saying? Right?
Yeah,
if something is beautiful, if something looks correct, then the math will also work with it. If you have something that is jumbled in front of you, right? You crumple up a piece of paper and it's just, that's not elegant anymore. And you're not going to get a 369 out of a crumpled sheet of paper. Right? But if you unfold the paper,
so if it's elegant, let's go with that. You're saying elegant, okay? And so then space is elegant, Tesla is elegant, the pyramid's elegant, and Area 51 is elegant.
Could be. I think they all make sense and they're all connected. Yeah.
That's a pretty, I don't know, to me, at least to me, And maybe somebody out there can move it to the next level. Maybe this is the start of something. I don't know.
Yeah, you should go check out Ed Nightingale's work.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was another guy, Cobb or Coe. He had the Pyramid Code or something like that. It was like a 7-hour video.
Oh, yeah. Carl Monk. Carl Monk.
Yes, Carl Monk. That's it, Monk. Yes.
Yep.
So, I don't know, man. I guess it is what it is. I'm tossing it out there, and we'll let, if somebody can come up with something.
Thank you so much, Q. Great phone call, man.
All right, Jimmy, man. You be good.
Behave and be well. That's a great phone call right there. I actually wrote everything down. I did. Let's continue right on here. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, my name is Malcolm J. Brenner, and I'm from Punta Gorda, Florida.
Hi, Malcolm. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. And thanks for letting me on tonight. I presume the lines are wide open?
They're not wide open, but you got through. That's all that matters, Malcolm. My dog's name is Malcolm.
How fascinating.
Yes, and he's my favorite.
I feel validated by that, Jim, and I just wanted to let you know.
What's on your mind tonight, Malcolm?
Well, I'm the author of a book that maybe some of your listeners have read. It's called Red Goddess, Recollections of a Dolphin Lover.
Okay, speak up. You're breaking up. Okay, say what's the book? I'm sorry.
The title is Wet Goddess, Recollections of a Dolphin Lover. And I would like to throw a wrench into the whole UFO thing by suggesting that we have been ignoring the dolphins and other toothed whales and their intelligence and their point of view in this whole situation.
Have you ever seen Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
Yeah.
Okay, that opening scene with the dolphins?
Yeah.
I would tend to agree with you.
It's the only part of the movie I really like.
No, that whole book is great. But there are, and dolphins are one, octopus are another, but extremely intelligent. I mean, way beyond. And it just makes you wonder if they've got it all figured out and we don't.
Well, the other thing, Jimmy, is that dolphins are telepathic. And I'd like to know what's going on with that. Why should aliens and dolphins that have nothing to do with us be telepathic? But several dolphin trainers report being able to train them telepathically. And, I've had telepathic experiences with them.
You've had telepathic experiences with dolphins?
Yes.
And what have you been told? What did you learn?
Well, I learned, first of all, they're very impressed with our civilization. They don't know what to make of it. Secondly, their world is very confusing to us because it really doesn't have any yardsticks or time in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of fluid. And thirdly, that they think sex is very important.
Yeah, I've actually heard that about dolphins. But the other part is the research that was brought out last summer about octopus and how octopi and how they probably were actually extraterrestrial, that they were brought to this planet, that they were very singular in their species and that nothing else like it here. But also their intelligence and the way and I started to think about this. Dolphins are exactly the same in that they're mammals. They live in the water. They're not like anything else out there. And whales too, though. We've got to throw whales into this. But intelligent and the way that they communicate, the way they look at you. I'm telling you, there's something of there's a higher being that is involved, and I firmly believe that.
I'd like to communicate with that higher being. That's what I started out to do in 1970 when I was a college student. My book is about. if you let the higher being determine the agenda, it isn't always what you expect it to be. You know, they don't want to have conversations about the tides and the local runs of fish.
That's probably true. That's probably true. All right, Malcolm, I'll let you plug your book. Where can everybody go and read it? Where can everybody go and get it?
They can get the paperback on Amazon. It's a trade paperback, and they can get the ebook on Smashwords.
And are you on Twitter?
No.
Oh, okay.
I used to be on Facebook, but I'm gone from that now.
Okay. Well, there you go, and thank you for that, and don't be a stranger.
I won't. Perhaps I'll have me on sometime.
Thank you so much, Malcolm. Send me an email.
Good night.
Man, that's a great phone call. I am right with him on that. 100%. I've talked about it enough on the show, though. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Arthur.
Arthur, how are you?
I'm back. I'm doing well. I wanted to clarify some things that I said last night. This is not an internet rabbit hole. Texas passed a law in 2014 to declare the Spanish and Mexican heirs that still rightfully own this land that was taken from them. It's called HB 724. This is not just some rabbit hole I went down on the internet. It's something that I've known since I was a little kid, and that my family has been in lawsuits off and on for 150 years.
Mm-hmm.
I can continue. The first coins were printed in Texas have a JAG, Jose Antonio de la Garza. Him and Manuel Barrera had the first banks and coins printed in Texas. Also the first railroads and the first ports.
But Arthur, let me ask you this. What is your point, though?
Well, for one, Texas gave all the heirs 12 years to declare their heirship. There was a law passed 2014 called HB 724 that basically admitted that Texas had some transgressions and some wrongs, and they took land illegally, and they've given us time to declare our heirship. There's been 15,000 heirs declared. There's a commission. I just want the truth to be known, whatever it is.
Well, Arthur, I'm trying to follow you. So what I am saying is, but what is your point? I mean, ultimately, at the top of all of this, if you were going to hand me a report, at the top of the report would be a title. Not a 5-page paragraph of a title, but one line. What's that one line at the top of the report?
Half of Texas was stolen. Here are the heirs.
Half of Texas was stolen.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's been admitted.
Okay. All right. Okay. So what is it? You want Texas back?
If nothing else, I just want the truth to be known. There's 200 years of Texas history missing. It's all well documented. And once that law was passed, these documents started being put online on the Spanish archives to the General Land Office, because they are required to give us this information for us to find out who we're related to and who our ancestors are. If nothing else, I want the truth to be known.
That Texas, so somebody out there, you're saying, took land.
There's thousands of us. Yes, sir. In 1716, 300 families came up here from Mexico, which had originally come here from Spain. They came here to colonize. I'm a descendant of the first colonists of the state of Texas. It was 300 families that came up here with cattle and other things from Mexico under the authority of Spain. And, they conquered these lands, and it was New Spain before it was ever Texas. Basically, there was a legal ownership of this land, and they were run off of it.
So are you saying Texas belongs to Spain?
No. Lots of Texas still belongs to the Spanish and Mexican heirs, because there was Spanish land grants first and then Mexican land grants. And these people technically still own the land now because of adverse possession laws, which were, have been through cases over the last 150 years. They can't give the surface back, but they could give the minerals back, at least the money. And there's billions of dollars in escrow just from 5 years worth of this money. And so, they've given us a limited amount of time to declare heirship, and there's been 15,000 heirs declared so far.
Interesting. Well, when's it going to play out?
They don't want it to play out. My family's been fighting this for 150 years, trying to get this land back, so it probably never will play out.
How much land? How much land was taken from your family?
Millions of acres.
Millions?
Millions. One of the Spanish land grants, just one of them, was 451,000 acres.
No, I'm talking about your family. You said your family has been in
My
litigation.
my family. There's thousands of us now because I'm a 10th generation of the colonists. Just one of these Spanish land grants. There was hundreds of Spanish land grants and hundreds of Mexican land grants, and there were people that were from Missouri even that owned Mexican land grants that were run off their land. A lot of people had to just go back to wherever they came from before, and this land was taken over and repatented and resold.
It's very interesting. That sounds like an awful lot of land. 1 million acres just for your family.
Millions.
And if there's
millions of acres.
Well, wait a minute. I'm talking about your family, right? 1 million acres with your family, and there's 15,000 other people. It sounds like it's almost bigger than the state of Texas.
No. Texas is huge. But basically, it's everything south of I-10 and even some north of it. And, some Mexicans got to keep their land and some Spanish got to keep their land if they fought for Texas. But if you didn't fight for Texas, you got run off your land. And, my family fought for Mexico, and they actually declared themselves the free people of the Rio Grande Valley, and for a year and a half had their own country. This is not in Texas history, and it needs to be known.
Is your issue, could your issue also be with Mexico?
Well, part of it is what happened between the governments when it became from Spain to Mexico and then from Mexico to Texas. So between all these transitions, yes, I mean, it's not necessarily with the government of Mexico. It's with the claims of what happened during between governments. And basically, the Mexican people were run off their land by the Texans, and unless they fought for Texas, and then they got to keep it.
Right.
And depending on and this went on even until the early 1900s. Even after Texas was long established, there were still border wars happening, and there was actually 10,000 Mexican troops. There were like a rebel army and 110,000 U.S. troops along the border during World War I. So this stuff is just continued, and people have been fighting for their land back for a long time, and it's just history skewed.
Well, I don't know if it's ever going to get resolved. I don't
think it will.
Yeah, because look, you've got Spain, then you've got what Mexico did. You've got the American Indians that were there first before everybody else. I think that they've got rights to everything before anybody else got there, which includes your family. Yes. And then you've got.
And I want to go into that, the crypto Jew aspect. See, the Sephardic Jews, the Spanish came over here.
Do not say Jew on my show. Okay.
Now, say what?
Don't say Jew on my show.
Oh, but I found out I was. I'm sorry. The information I'm learning.
It doesn't matter. It sounds wrong, and it's very offensive to my ear.
Did you say Jew?
Yes, that's what you said.
Okay. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. That's what I found out. I'm a descendant of these people that are Jewish.
Right.
We've been persecuted. We had to change because of the Inquisition. We had to become Catholic. That's why I'm saying it's crypto. It means secret. Okay. You had to become secret Jew. So I think people would want to know that.
It just sounds very offensive. The way that you're laying it out, but anyway, none of that matters. What you are saying is that there was a land grab in Texas, I know that it's multi-layered because Spain is involved, Mexico is involved, the United States is involved, and the original Indian cultures that were there first are involved. And because of that, it's probably not going to go anywhere. You know,
well, and
it's unfortunate.
The Native American aspect is so interesting because of they were being forced Christianity on them. And what I wanted to go in about the crypto-Jewish aspect, it's not a bad thing. I'm proud to learn that I am of Jewish descendant, but we had to hide it because the De La Garzas were burned at the stake in Cuba. They had to hide their Jewish roots by fear of death.
Right. Well,
they were forcing Christianity while being Jewish on the natives. And the natives were actually, in ownership of this land legally in some ways that is not also known, and I would like to bring that out as well.
Well, I wish you luck on your journey, man. I really do. It's very complicated, and I have no idea. This is all completely fresh and new to me. I mean, it's not what we do on this show, but, I do
research for a living. I do title research, so this is right up my alley. I do it for oil and gas companies, and that's how I've discovered this to begin with. Although I've heard about this since I was a kid, I've been told about this because it's been something that's been happening for a long time. Thank you for giving me this time on air.
Yeah, thank you so much, Arthur. Be safe and be well, and enjoy your weekend.
Yes, sir. You too. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. All right, this is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Well, see, look, I didn't mean to go south that quick, but when I hear that, I just react. I can't go there. But this is Fade to Black, and it's open lines. If you're on hold, stay right there. It's Fadernight on the Game Changer Network and KGRA, The Planet. Stay with me.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
Always on the edge of the hottest alternative talk. Jimmy Church with Fade to Black. KGRARadio.com.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
Hurricanes, earthquakes, wildfires. This year we've experienced more than our fair share. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and last month I decided to make sure my family does not have to worry about food should we get caught in a real emergency situation. Introducing Numana, a healthy, storable product that tastes so good that you'll want to eat it every day instead of just during those times of duress. All Numana products have a 25-year shelf life, are MSG and GMO-free, no preservatives, and are made in America. With the Numana pack in your home, you'll be able to sleep at night knowing that you've protected your family. Not only have I tasted and tested, I own it. Now you can too. Just click on the Numana banner on JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code Jimmy when you order. In addition to a discount, we'll send you an autographed Fade to Black t-shirt. Seriously. Go Beckley Tappy. Do you want to be an official Fadernaut? Of course you do. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black. Just go to our membership section at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
You listen to us, and we listen to you. And so does the CIA. KGRARadio.com.
If you have hard water, the Lime Scale not only leaves white spots, it clogs pipes and breaks down appliances, costing you hundreds of dollars in energy and wear. Eliminate Lime Scale and other water issues like brown staining and bad odors with HydroCare water products available from Wave Home Solutions. Wave's affordable water systems don't use salts or chemicals. You'll love the way your water tastes, smells, and looks. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back. Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, it is Fadernight. Patrick just tweeted, it's only halftime. Fasten your seatbelts. I had to respond back, it's only halftime. Man, what a show so far. All right, let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hello, Jimmy. This is Fred from Montreal.
Hey, man. How are you? Everything good?
Yes, everything's good. I'm so happy it's Fadernight. I'm glad I got through.
Okay, what's on your mind?
First of all, it's minus 35 here. It's crazy.
I know.
Cold. It's unbelievable.
Well, at least you get to stay indoors, listen to Fade to Black, Fadernight, call us, and, hope you have some hot chocolate and a blanket.
I do. I'm in my pajamas with got a little coffee here, and I'm listening to you guys. A little hi to all the Fadernauts out there. Jimmy, really quickly, it's about yesterday's show with Patrick Wood. What a good show that was. Very wonderful. I just loved it. One thing, he didn't agree that DEWs were used during the California fires. And I know you believe, because I saw you send out a tweet one day and you said that, were their DEW used in the fires, and you thought they were? He didn't believe so.
No, let me clarify. I raised the question with everybody else in the community about it, but my concern when it comes to DEWs, and that's where I agree with Patrick, is that there needs to be some proof. Because we are talking about people are dying, people are losing their homes, and before we go and jump on the conspiracy situation, we need to really get our facts in order here. We can't just go and depend on a couple of images that were posted up on social media and a couple of videos out there that are suggesting this, and then call and say that that's the final word. That's look, if I lost my house, if I lost a family member, a dog to the fires, and I've got people posting stuff like this, I'm not going to feel too good about that. And I went through my community. This happened in my neighborhood, where I'm looking out the window watching this fire blow across the valley, incinerating homes. I'm looking at stopped traffic. I'm watching the helicopters and the water dropping and the airplanes. And I'm dealing with, people that are posting stuff about DEWs and they're not here. I just don't need that. And nobody else does. This is my experience. This is what I went through, me and my community here. And you remember last year, I posted up the videos of the smoke that enveloped our house and our neighborhood and the mountains right behind our home here in Burbank. And I'm posting. This is stuff that, I mean, I'm waking up and I'm worried about packing my car and my wife and my kid and just going through panic mode. And then I've got to deal with stuff about DEW. It's just like, you know what? No, I don't need this. I don't need this. We need to worry about the community and the homes and the people and the families and rebuilding and worrying about all of that and not jumping on some conspiracy bandwagon.
I know. I agree. It's just, I totally agree. It's just, of course, we're just talking. We're just having fun, throwing out theories.
Yes,
and
yes.
I saw David Wilcock on YouTube, I think was with The Edge of Wonder, and he said that there was ETs that looked very like us that were hiding out at this city, Paradise City, in California, and they were discussion about coming out as a self-disclosure that they exist, and then the cabal got to know that, and that's why I heard, but that's what's from David Wilcock, so that's why I just heard that like a few days ago, so I'm all excited about these, because I thought it was a natural fire, but aluminum melting like this, I don't know, something is really strange. So
look, when I see the pictures that everybody else did, where you see, homes burnt but trees still standing, yeah, I find that all intriguing, just like everybody else does, and it just makes you wonder how that could have happened. I don't know. I don't know. Well, yeah. Why one thing burns and another doesn't? I don't know. I know. I was watching. I was watching the fires live, and I was watching this the situation. The helicopters were over this neighborhood over Malibu, and next door on the right of the screen were people running out of this house putting stuff into their car. Meanwhile, the house directly next door, which was untouched, but slowly you watch the barbecue, everything on the back patio suddenly, and the palm trees just catching fire around the house, and then but the house in the middle where the people were running out of, right? All the houses around it are catching on fire, and this was on television. I'm watching it go down, and later on in the broadcast, they went back to that neighborhood, and that house that the people were packing up their stuff and getting out of there was still there. Every house around it burned down. It just doesn't make any sense. It seems like everything.
I know, it's weird. It is weird. I know. I don't know.
So, there you
anyway, and one last thing.
Sure.
You had Damon Berry there earlier.
Yes.
And it's true. He's a great filmmaker. I saw it on YouTube. It's really good. And I feel really sorry about the cancer he had. It's really sad. But I think he has a very, pessimistic view on the world, that the world must end. I remember he said that. He said, we all know that the world must end. And I don't like that, because religion always had that. Since I was a kid, they were brainwashing me. There's got to be end of the world here, end of the world. I'm a bit tired of this, because I'm more of a positive guy, where why can't the human race just thrive from here? That would be a soft disclosure, and we can expand and go into space and just thrive. No, the world must not end. It will, maybe it will. I don't know. I don't know the future. I'm just saying that there's a lot of negative out there. Some of it based on religion, where they're a bit, the end of the world thing. And Damon was on that too. So I don't agree with him with that. I think that the human race can thrive and expand and go into space. We don't need a war. We don't need a big cataclysm. It can be done nicely, softly, gently, with time, soft disclosure. We've got all the people, the books are written, the internet is there. So in times, more and more people will know about this, and when we get this magic number, the whole thing will shift, and the truth will come out, and, that's it.
That's it.
That's how I see it. That's how I would like it to be. And I'm a bit tired of hearing these the theory of end of the world, so that we can start anew. No, we don't have to kill everything off to start anew. We already have a beautiful planet. We just need a bit of cleanup here and there, and let's keep going.
Well, that's and Fred, thank you for the phone call, but you know my take. I've got flowers hanging out of my pockets. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and stay warm up there. I know it's cold in Montreal.
I will, Jimmy. I love you, and I can't wait for next Thursday. And take care of yourself. Good night.
Yeah, thank you so much. And the cold that is going on right now across this country is just right on the edge of absolute insanity. And I've been to Montreal in January a couple of times, and I never felt cold like I did in Montreal in January. So I know he's feeling it up there as well as the rest of the country. So if you're out there listening to me right now on this show and you're going through this, just stay indoors, stay warm, do your thing, and you will get through it. All right, let's stay on the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, this is Drew. Am I on the air right now?
Yeah, you are. Who's this?
Wow, awesome. This is Drew.
Hey,
I'm
Drew.
from Washington State.
Hey, Drew.
All right, so I had a UFO story for you. It's actually 5 separate occurrences.
Okay, what happened?
So I wanted to tell you and all the other Fadernauts about it. I've kind of been telling this story all my life to tons of people. So let me just start out. So when I was a little kid, I had a really crazy dream. So I was in a dark woods, and then there was a little cabin in the dark woods, and I walked into up to the cabin, and when I opened the door, it was super brightly lit, and then two what I thought at the time were monsters came out of the dark cabin, and they took me by the hands and then brought me into the cabin, and then I thought that they were skinning me alive or doing something to me along those lines, and I ended up falling through the floor and went into a big red tunnel, and then it was really weird, and then I woke up. So that was when I was 3. So I can still remember that dream even though I was 3.
Right.
And so a few years later, we started having UFO visits. I think the first time was when I was 5 or 6, and I was living in Lake Stevens. Around 9 o'clock, the whole house filled with light, and my mom said that she thought she saw headlights coming from the sky towards the house, but the house filled with light and lasted for about 5 or 6 seconds. Came outside to see a brightly lit ball of light just above the tree line right above our house, and then it took off in a zigzag at 1,000,000 miles an hour, dead silent. It happened again a few years later at the same house, pretty much the same exact thing, house filled with light. So it happened again when I was on the freeway trestle, and I was in the car with my mom. She was driving. I was about 10 or 11, and I saw it coming from way off in the distance, and it just shot straight up to our car, 1,000,000 miles an hour, and it was moving in a zigzag. It followed our car on the freeway trestle, and at this time, it hit our car with light. And then the cars around us started pulling off on the side of the road. My mom did the same thing. And this thing was below the tree line. It was just right above our car. Stayed there for about 3 or 4 seconds, and then it took off again. Happened again in Oregon. So when I moved to Oregon, I was living in another house, and it happened again around this time, except this time it was around 2 or 3 in the morning. And same thing, as always, it hits the house with light. The whole house fills with light. So this is a 3-story house. My mom's boyfriend at the time was in the basement, and it had no access to windows or light from the outside. But his basement filled with light as well. So that tells me that like the light is like going through solid objects. So it's not like a normal light. And Jimmy, let me explain to you, like the brightness of this light is so bright that you can't see the hand in front of your face.
Right.
Like if you hold your hand out, you can't see your hand.
Right.
So like you're blind pretty much. So again, the light lasts for about 7 or 8 seconds or so. And when this occurrence happened, I was like 15 or 16. This would actually be the last time I've seen the UFO.
What
I was actually playing Xbox.
Okay, keep going. Okay, so you're playing Xbox.
Right. So I'm playing Halo 2, back in the day. And the Xbox just shuts off. None of the other power to the rest of the house shut off, just my Xbox. And like I looked to my left, I saw a big bright light right outside my window. So I peeled back the curtain and I saw an egg-shaped craft, super brightly lit, like very shiny, like aluminum. And it was definitely like egg-shaped. This thing was about twice the size of my 3-story house, so pretty big.
Wow.
Yep. And I saw it moving slowly from left to right over my house. And at this point, my whole house is hit with light, and I'm looking out the window watching this thing. And, so my mom and my brother were both asleep. My mom wakes up. She woke up. She's like, "Oh, no, it's that light again." And I was like, "Yeah, the light's here. Let's go back outside and, let's try to capture this thing on camera." So we all run out to the back deck. The light disappears from the house, but the craft is still hovering there. And this time it's below the tree line, right above our back deck. And it kind of moves into my yard, and it just hovers there, motionless, silent, and it's not so brightly lit anymore. We can kind of make out the features of the craft. It's really just one big, shiny, egg-shaped thing.
Metallic.
And,
Mom, you said it was metallic, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
Very metallic and shiny.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what happens next?
So I'm out on the back deck with my mom. My brother's still asleep. And we're just sitting here on the back deck looking at this thing. And my mom's boyfriend comes running outside. He's like, "Holy crap, I'm going to go get the camera." And then he runs back in to get the camera. And my mom is like, she kind of follows him into the house to help him look for it, I guess. It's literally just me standing out there staring at this thing. And it's below the tree line, super, super close. It's like 100 feet or less away from me. And it starts to go lower, filling up my whole yard. I thought it was going to land. Like, I didn't know what to expect from this occurrence, but it looked like it was going to land, but it never did. And it kind of like shoots back up into the sky. And at this point, I see from like left to right, like a part of the craft became translucent, like see-through, and it kind of like strobed from left to right really fast. And when that happened, I saw hundreds of like little gray aliens all holding hands looking at me. And this is like the part where I've talked to my mom about this 100 times. She says it didn't happen because she wasn't there and she didn't see it, but like I know what I saw. And Carl, my mom's boyfriend, just came back out to the back deck with the camera when this thing shot off, in a zigzag pattern, and it was gone. The most interesting part of this occurrence is when it shot away, it left like a tracer behind it. The only thing I can think of to like give you an analogy of what it was like was maybe you've seen it, or maybe some of your favorite knots have seen the movies Chronicles of Riddick.
I have, yes.
Yes. So in the second movie, how the main boss dude, I forget his name, but he's like the main necromancer guy, like he can like, his like soul kind of like leaves his body and like his body stays behind, but like he travels forward, like his soul. It's kind of what that was like, where the UFO left, like it disappeared and reappeared somewhere else, but the craft was still there.
Oh, I
but
got
it was in like
you.
2 different places at once, and
Right.
where it was originally would slowly catch up to it, like maybe it was traveling faster than the speed of light, and then just the light literally couldn't keep up with it or something.
Yeah, you saw 2 of them, but there wasn't 2.
Right, because it was really hard to describe. Totally blew my mind when I saw it, because it's like, where else are you going to see something like that, you know?
Well, Drew, fantastic memory with all of this. I want to back up to that part where you said your mom wasn't there. Did you say that there were aliens that were holding hands?
Yeah. Well, they were like standing right next to each other, all looking in the same direction towards me, and they were like right next to each other with their hands kind of like outstretched. I don't know if they were holding hands, but they're close.
And what did they look like? How tall were they? What did you see?
Yeah, kind of hard to tell exactly how tall they were, but they looked pretty short. Like the typical like gray alien, you know, the big head, the almond-shaped eyes. That's really what I like remember seeing, was the big head and the almond-shaped eyes. They had like little skinny bodies.
Wow.
And the craft itself was like, it had like the effect of like sun reflecting off of oil. Had like that rainbow spectrum effect, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the whole craft kind of like strobed like that. Like,
well,
the light reflected off it really weird.
Have you had any more contact after that last event?
One more time, and I can't really say for certain that it was like contact, but I had a weird dream a few years later when I was like 22, and it was a dream where I woke up dead of night, walked outside, super surreal dream. I'm looking up expecting to see a UFO for some reason, and sure enough there's a UFO, except this one's like a black disc. So it hovers over my house and then clips a tree as it like goes over this tree, and it kind of like tilts at an angle, and it like hits a branch. The branch in the dream falls off, and then it's like I woke up in my dream, and I'm like on this craft, and there's like a freaking like 12-foot tall gray alien in the ship with me. There's actually 2 of them, and I'm like, for some reason, like super emotional. Like I'm super happy that my friends have finally come to visit me or something.
Right.
Really weird, because it was just a dream. But like when I tried to like hug one of them, I guess I was so happy I tried to hug one of them, because one of them walked towards me, and I was like, "Hey, buddy!" And I tried to hug him, and I just remember him like opening his mouth really wide and then screaming. But like I didn't hear, like the screaming didn't come from his mouth; it like came from his head or his brain. Like he was screaming at me telepathically, super loud. Like made me like fall to my knees and like cover my ears because it was super loud.
Well, you've got a whole life of contact and experiences, and because all of them were so similar, you know, as you described it, you know, each, you know, the living room, the inside of the house being lit up. It sounds like they were following you, and this isn't the first time we've heard this, right? And we hear about this quite a bit. But that the last contact, you know, Carl didn't get a picture taken, did he?
No.
Yeah.
No. So that was actually just a dream. So when I woke up from that dream, the branch in the dream that fell from my tree was actually on the ground. It had only a couple fruit on it, and those fruit were rotten in like 2 days. They rotted abnormally fast. Usually it takes a couple weeks, but these things were like black freaking raisins by 2 days.
Really?
Yeah.
There's something going on, Drew. Now, when was the last the time when, you know, the big egg-shaped, the one that was twice as big as your house, that came down to the backyard? What year? How long ago was that?
So I'm 29 now. This was like when I was 6 or 17.
17, so 10 years ago, 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, the next time it happens, don't forget to call in. And
absolutely, I've been waiting my whole life for it to happen.
I know, right?
Because I have a phone, I'm going to capture it.
Yeah, it'll happen. But take a picture. All right?
Absolutely.
Take a picture. Drew, thank you for the phone call. And where are you calling from?
Washington State.
Oh, so you guys aren't in the wrath of the cold then. It's not that bad up there.
Right. No, it's like a nice, mild 55, 60 here.
I know. We can't brag about that right now. So enjoy the rest of your weekend.
All right. Thank you, Jimmy.
Yeah, thank you, Drew. Great phone call right there. And that's a bona fide, real deal life of contact. And so, listen, everybody that is on hold, stay right there. I'm going to take a quick break, and we are going to continue this awesome, perfect, wonderful Fadernight. I am your host, Jimmy Church, and let me do this. This is great. See, I have a new system here. I have a new system. So everybody stay right there. If you're on hold, I'll get to everybody in order right after this short break. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Network and KGRA, The Planet. I'll be right back.
Hi, everybody. This is Rob Halford, the Metal Guard, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station. Salt Lake City, Utah. Van Buren, Arkansas.
Poor water quality is a major health issue, and it's only getting worse. Municipalities can't keep up, standards have dropped, and pollutants are increasing. Where does it all end? It ends by keeping the pollutants outside of your home with HydroCare's advanced systems available at Wave Home Solutions. No less than the best purification materials and processes have been developed by HydroCare to provide you with healthy, clean water for drinking, cooking, and showering. HydroCare far surpasses the competition in removing chlorine, odors, iron, lead, chemicals, limescale, and much more. Don't settle for less when it comes to your water. We'll take care of the toughest water problems for you, whether it's from a city or well source. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, call 888-997-WAVE. That's 888-997-WAVE. Or go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
Your contact for current news and trending topics. KGRARadio.com.
Does your basement or crawl space have a damp, musty smell? Well, watch out. That's a sign of too much moisture and not enough ventilation. And that can mean increased mold growth and the buildup of harmful toxins and gases. Don't bother with a dehumidifier. It just circulates the same unhealthy air. Now there's a better way to remove these dangers and odors. It's with the computerized Wave Moisture Control Unit that reduces moisture and expels pollutants.
We replaced our old dehumidifier with the Wave unit, and in only 3 weeks, our basement is dry and the musty smell is gone.
Wave units require no maintenance, no buckets of water or filters, and costs only pennies a day to run. Breathe better, live healthier with an affordable, no-maintenance Wave unit. Call 888-717-WAVE, 888-717-WAVE, or visit dryhealthyhome.com, dryhealthyhome.com.
Ride the wave. Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I only drink Fade to Black blend coffee from Rivermoon. Just click on the Rivermoon coffee banner at jimmychurchradio.com. Promo code F2B Blend.
So are you tired of being tired? Well, then it's time to get the tea. Hey, it's Lisa here to tell you about this all-natural, all-organic tea I've been drinking that has had great results for over 20 years. It's called Life Change Tea, and it's specially formulated to help detoxify and cleanse your kidneys, liver, colon, and blood all at once. The colon is one of the most ignored organs in the human body. The faster that waste is eliminated from the body, the less time that waste sits in our intestines, spreading toxins to our bloodstream. This tea helps cleanse chemicals caused by outside intruders from our entire digestive system. And get this, weight loss can be a side effect. And with continued use of the tea, you can experience clearer, healthier, younger looking skin, increased energy, and a happier outlook on life. So if you're tired of being tired, get the Life Change Tea at getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. And like me, you'll be glad you did.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi available, you can still listen to every minute of Fade to Black by just calling 605-562-4482. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and no extra cost if you have unlimited minutes. Just call 605-562-4482. You can listen to me, Jimmy Church, on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Go Beckley Tappy.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why Fade to Black? Because you never got that pony, damn it.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Best night of the week, Thursday night. It is Fadernight. I just get to sit with all of you and have a conversation. That's what we do here. All right. Our new number is 747-228-2051. If you're on hold, stay there. I'll get to everybody. I promise. Let's go straight back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, Jimmy. It's Karen from Seattle.
Hi, Karen from Seattle. How are you?
I'm doing very well. How was your night?
It's Thursday night. It's Fader night. I'm warm. It is raining here again today, though. We woke up this morning, to thunder and lightning, which never happens in California. It's once every few years, and it only happens for a few seconds. But man, oh man, it lit up today.
That's awesome. I love thunderstorms.
Yeah, it was cool. So what's on your mind, Karen?
Well, I just wanted to comment on one thing a prior caller said about like dolphins and telepathy and stuff.
Yep.
Had it happen to me on my cruise to Alaska.
What happened?
I would go outside at night, everybody else was, getting drunk and stumbling around the hallways and going to the casinos. So I just went and sat outside. It was dark and, the sound of the water, and all of a sudden it's not words, it's impressions. And I would get this impression of, hey, we're over here. And I would kind of be led over to a certain side of the boat, and all of a sudden there would be like 20 dolphins, and they would start to jump in the water right off the side of the boat.
How cool is that?
And that went on all night long, and it went on for days. It was a 7-day cruise. And I would be the first to know where the whales were coming, because I would get an impression that they were close, and then suddenly there they were. Right.
That must be amazing.
It was amazing.
That's I've never touched a dolphin, up close and personal. I've seen them a lot. I remember when I was out twice. No, let me take this back. Okay. The more that I think about it, I've made more contact than I can think of. Never anything telepathic, though. But I've had them, swim up and next to the boat, and I've looked at them from the air too as well, and it just seems like they always know that you're there. But I've never done the telepathic thing. I look forward to that. One day I will.
If you're just calm and you just kind of be quiet in your head for a little while, you will get the impressions. And it was such a playful, kind, gentle contact.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like they just wanted to hang out, just be in proximity. And considering all the horrible things that we do to life in the oceans,
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty extraordinary.
Yeah, yeah. I've always felt that there are friends. I just feel that. I think that we all do. And when anything tragic happens with a dolphin and we hear about it or we see it, it rips at me. I mean, geez, it just rips at me. So yeah, there's definitely something special going on. So, and you're up you're up in Seattle. What's the weather like up there? We were just talking to Drew up there in Washington. He says it's pretty warm. So you guys are doing okay?
It's been in the 50s. It's been sunny the last couple days. Nice blue skies. Couple clouds. Chance of snow by Sunday night or Monday morning, though.
No,
down in the lowlands, so that'll be a good time.
Yeah, well, no matter what, we've got it easy right now compared to the rest of the country. So there you go.
Oh yeah,
Karen, thank you for the phone call, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
You too.
Thank you so much. There is, I think we can all agree that there is something special going on with dolphins. I don't think there's any question about that. And I'm sitting here putting calls on hold. So when you hear it go silent, that means you are now in the cycle. Let's stay on the phones here. Let's see who's up next. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Good evening, Mr. Church. This is Andy, and I made a promise to call you back this evening.
How you doing, Andy? Is everything good? You know, somebody just tweeted out, I don't know if you caught this as a Twitter, I hope Andy's in the call cycle. And so there you go, Andy. I did get your email, too. Oh, I think I replied back, right?
Yes, you did.
Okay, good.
I actually sent you an email before that as well, but maybe you didn't get it. I'm not sure.
Andy, you're going to make me say if you have any idea how much email I get. Don't make me say it. Yeah, don't make me say it. But okay, okay. Let's you want to reference your email really quick, what your email was about?
Sure. The first original email was the materials that referenced the death of my biological father, suicide by cop.
Right.
And that, I just wanted you to have something so that you could review that to substantiate.
I did get that email. Yes, I got it.
Okay. And then I just found out who my biological father was last December of 2018, and it was a pure fluke. My mother never knew who her father was. Her mother got pregnant with her when she was 14 and had her when she was 15. So my mom has been trying to locate her biological father, and in an effort to aid her, I submitted my DNA to Ancestry.com. My mom also followed in my grandmother's footsteps. My mom got pregnant with me when she was 14 and had me when she was 15. And she believed that her, I guess you could say, her high school sweetheart was the father. He was a couple years older than her. So I'm 48, so we believed for the last 47 years that this man was my father. Well, when I got my DNA results back, they really threw me for a loop because I always assumed and believed, and I've had contact with the man that we thought was my father, but I was pretty much European, Irish descent.
Mm-hmm.
When my results came back that I do have some European in me, about 40%. But the big surprise was that I'm 29% Spanish, Portuguese, and I'm approximately between 16 and 19% Native American. And I was flabbergasted. And make a long story short, when I revealed this to my mother, she told me that her and her high school sweetheart did break up and she did have a brief relationship with a man, and she remembered specifically that him and his family had immigrated from Colombia. And I told her, well, that is my father, and that is why I have the Latin American and Native American DNA in me. And I recently just had my Y chromosome DNA analyzed by Family Tree DNA, and I belong to the haplogroup QM3, which is strictly found only in Native American people. So I'm still kind of researching that. But
now, which is very, very, very interesting, and you had no idea. That's a big chunk of your DNA. I mean, you're talking, almost 20%.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and now, Andy, I want to jump into. I want to cover this as quickly as we can. You mentioned. Okay. Did you hear my little rant at the beginning of the show about memory?
I did not.
Okay. Well, I talked about memory, or the lack of, right? Mm-hmm. And gaps in time. It could be time lost, time slips, whatever you want to reference it. But I've gone through a couple, and today I was reminded of an experience of something that I just have no memory of. And the only reason why I remember that I don't have any memory of it is because people have told me about it, right? Okay, but if they hadn't told me, then I wouldn't remember it because I don't remember. Makes sense? Right. Okay, yes. And in your email, your most recent one, you actually talk about something very similar. Why don't you share that with the audience?
Sure. Just to back up a little bit, from my experience when I was attending ASU, not me or any of the passengers in the vehicle ever discussed the events that happened. And that seems to be a common theme. And just like yesterday or the day before, a video popped up on YouTube regarding the Phoenix Lights, and it featured Kurt Russell. And it was just a brief, 3-minute excerpt. And he basically explained how that he was flying his son to Arizona, and they observed these lights in the shape of a V, and he made a report, landed the plane, dropped off his son, and flew back. And him and his son never, ever, ever talked about it. And it wasn't until a few years later that he came home and he saw his wife watching a program on the Phoenix Lights, and they were talking about a pilot that made a report of the sighting, and he put the two and two together, went back and got his logbooks and realized that he was at the right place at the right time, and he was that pilot. And it was kind of weird to him how that he never discussed the experience with his son. And I also happened to have a one-on-one conversation with Travis Walton a few years ago. And I told him my missing time experience at ASU and how that it was kind of strange that me and my fraternity brothers never once brought it up or made any effort to investigate or do anything. And he shared an experience with me where him and some friends were driving and they observed a large black triangular shaped object fly overhead, and none of them took out their cell phones or cameras or anything to try and make any attempt to document or record the event. And he said that he's had other people tell him basically the same thing. And I got me kind of thinking, because I've heard this same story over and over again from other experiencers or abductees. And I kind of came up with a theory. It may be a download. And I actually emailed Dr. Jacobs about it. He didn't email me back, but I did get a chance to meet him one-on-one, and we did talk about my theory. He didn't agree with my theory, But my theory or download was that if you believe that we have been visited, observed in the remote past by these people, and that somehow they have manipulated our DNA, I thought that the same way a computer programmer designs a software program, they put a back door in there so that if you forget your password or something along those lines, they can get in through the back to access your software program. And I thought these people might have done something similar to that to our DNA, specifically what they call our junk DNA, and that they use this technology to short circuit us so that they can carry out their observations and whatnot without minimal
to turn us off, to put us into standby mode.
Basically to turn us off.
Right.
And I don't think it's malicious intent. I think it's more just like if a doctor's going to do intubate somebody, they sedate the patient because they don't, the patient's going to fight having a tube get shoved down their throat. So they sedate them, and it's in order to protect them from hurting themselves and as well as the doctor. And I thought that maybe they did this too so that we wouldn't injure ourselves or we wouldn't injure them. Dr. Jacobs did not agree with my theory, mainly because he does not believe in the ancient alien theory at all. He firmly believes that the abduction experiencer phenomena has only been going on for the last 50 to 70 years.
Mm-hmm.
So that would rule out them manipulating our DNA. But I still kind of think along those lines that there's something that's been built into us, maybe all of us, and that is how they are able to do the things they do. And the reason why we have, like myself and Travis and other people that I've heard many stories from, they just don't react the same way. I mean, I had a similar experience prior to ever getting involved with Yvonne, and that involved my wife. And I was driving to work one morning, and I was traveling east, and I observed a red fiery orb that was stationary. It was bright as a flare, and it was clear blue skies. And I called my wife up at home, and she was just leaving for work, and she was traveling in a northwest direction. And I said, "Hey, do you see this thing in the sky?" And she said, "I do." And we talked about it, and I actually drove up to work, went upstairs to the office on the second floor, and at that time, we had like the mobile flip phones, and I tried to take a picture of this thing, but it would not show up on the screen.
Right.
But I actually tried to get a couple of my employees, coworkers, to come out, take a look at this thing in the window from us. And it was like everybody was just shut off. Nobody was interested, and it was the weirdest thing. And I just kind of left it at that.
Well, see, and this is what is interesting about this, Andy, is that all of your thoughts and theories here are based on your experiences. This isn't something that you're pulling from somebody else's experiences or from movies or documentaries or what have you. This is based on what you have gone through. And I think it's very, very solid. I'm very surprised that David Jacobs poo-pooed the whole idea. He's usually pretty open-minded, but he's also, he is open-minded for sure, but he's definitely solid on his hybrid, human hybrid, alien hybrid theory that he has put forward, and something I've talked to him about on the show a few times, but I'm just really surprised that he shot this whole thing down. I mean, it actually fits into. I just cut you off very rudely, but it also fits. Problem. It fits nicely into what he is trying to share with all of us. It kind of makes sense.
Yeah, and to add something in that, he didn't agree with my theory, but he said, I'm going to do something, and I'm going to let you know this is important. He took out like a little pocketbook, and he wrote down my name and my contact information, and he kind of made a summary of my theory, and he let me know that I only do this if I think this is something that may reveal itself later with his peer support group. So I thought that was, in a way, he was acknowledging that this doesn't fit into my own theory right now, but if some other data comes up to support it, I'll be reaching out to you. But I've never heard from him again.
Well, this is it's getting more and more fascinating with you, Andy, and I want to thank you for taking the time to call in. And I guess we're just going to schedule this. I'll see you next Thursday night.
Sure, and I would like to talk about my experiences starting from a child. I actually sent you a drawing of one of the beams and one of the machines that caused a lot of angst between my mother and my stepfather. They didn't know what these were because, as I mentioned before, there was no talk of aliens or UFOs in my family. We just weren't aware of that. But I did give this entity a name and this machine a name, and they were familiar with the names of these things. But I'll say that for next Thursday. Thank you for taking my call.
Absolutely,
and I will definitely
Andy.
Call back.
And I'll get everything prepped up for next Thursday, and we'll show everybody. Okay?
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Andy. Be safe and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
You too.
Thank you so much. Man, Andy's email to me and his description of everything, what's really strange with all of that is that it had nothing to do with what I talked about today at the beginning of the show. But in reality, it had everything to do with what I talked about at the beginning of the show, if you know what I mean. The memory situation, I think there's something going on there. I don't know what it is. That's the strange thing. I don't know. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
This is David X. Pendleton, south of the town.
What are you doing, man? Hey, it was great to finally hang out with you, by the way.
Yeah. I hope that incense worked well for you.
It's burning.
It's burning. Okay.
You know
so
it. You know what? Can I tell everybody, David, when you meet David in person, he's one of the cool. You look at him and you go, this dude right here, this dude's cool. You just stay, man. You got it dripping off of you, man. You got it dripping off of you. So what's on your mind tonight, David?
Well, I did want to just remark about the party there. Did you see that? Let's say infamous celebrity who was also sitting at one of the tables there from certain films.
Yes.
Certain film genre star. Oh, you saw him. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I talked to him.
I wasn't hallucinating.
No.
But I noticed there were some people going up and down between the different levels, and we were sitting in different booths. So you may have not seen him, but did you see that cat who had the gold top hat, the sunglasses, the red fro, and the alligator pattern jacket?
Oh, actually, I saw him when he came in.
Okay,
we were
hallucinating then either.
No. We were actually I saw him when he came in, and then at one point I went upstairs to check out the band, and I heard them playing. They were playing Barracuda, right, by heart.
All right.
And I was like, okay, that sounds pretty good to me. So I walked up and went to go check them out, and he was up there, sitting at the bar upstairs watching the band upstairs. So I hung out with him for a brief minute. But yeah, I know who you're talking about.
All right. So, well, I have a tendency to, this has a tie-in with what I wanted to call in about certain synchros that have been happening to me in the last couple of months. Life hasn't been easy, but these synchros keep happening. And, down here in this area, I think the feng shui and just the cultural context is such that you get somewhat of a degree of magical realism going on here. I don't know if it's me or the area, but I've just been noticing a lot of synchronicities that have been going on with me, and maybe, certain characters that show up from certain, traditions that are local here. And
then for everybody, David's talking about south of Los Angeles.
Oh, okay, yeah. My apologies, but yeah, I had a conversation with somebody I don't speak too often, and we were talking about a third person. Haven't seen the guy in years, right? The very next day, I get out of the elevator from an appointment. Who do I bump into on the elevator?
Of course.
This third person.
Right,
Third person.
Of course.
Yeah, so we talk for a minute. And then I'm going home, and then I run into about 2 people on the way down who like, hey, I know you from somewhere. And it's like, no, I don't know. But when my synchronicity starts to go off, that's one of the things that people tell me. It's like, oh, yeah, I know you from somewhere. Weren't you married? Didn't you teach French at the university? And I'm like, no. So eventually I got down. There's two cases down here where I met up with people. One, I was with a bunch of other people. I was in my neighborhood. I was with 2 friends, and the character with the top hat you explaining about at the bar is Gide from the voodoo tradition.
Yep.
So he's kind of the master of the cemetery. But he's not quite the same as Legba, who stands at the crossroads. He's the guy who tuned Robert Guitar Johnson's.
That's right.
That wasn't the devil.
Right.
It was Papa Legba.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Not the same person. Not the same animal at all. So so my friends and I are out, and I show them how to salute one of the trees that are sacred in African traditions, called a kapok tree, Sieba tree. We have them around L.A. And so I showed my friends how to do this, and I had my eyes closed because I always carry some rum around with me so I can spray it out. I'm an herbalist, so if I take herbs for any use, I can pay for them, or if I take dirt for any kind of specific use, I can pay for it that way. And so I get done saluting this tree, and there's this guy standing in front of us. He doesn't know us, but I'm hanging out with my friends there, and we're talking, and he's well-dressed, he's articulate, don't know him from anywhere, and he starts talking with us, and I say, hey, do you want a drink of rum? And so I give him, some rum. He's like, oh, do you have a smoke? And I'm like, no, I don't have a smoke, but, I got some rum, so here you go. And so I give him some rum, and he makes this weird face when he's down in it. And then he starts going on, talking to us. And this is where,
Dave, I gotta tell you, we've got 60 seconds before the break.
All right.
So what happens?
This is the part where, so what happens is, it turns out like that point in the Matrix where you discover you're not in reality anymore. And this guy starts saying stuff that is somewhat offensive, it's hurtful, and I'm trying to figure it out. It turns out, okay, I figured it out. It's, Elegua. I mean, one of the things that Papa Legba does is he likes to drink, he likes to smoke, and he likes to tell dirty jokes, and he pulls people's covers off. So that's what I think, is like popping up here and there. These things happen down in my neighborhood. So, people like Eshu or Elegua, they pop up, and it's just like they're there. I think part of it is my traditional background.
Right.
They tend to manifest more. But the person I was with said, it seemed like a half hour passed he was talking to us. I was like, no, it was 5 minutes. He's like, no, it was half hour, man. So
Hey,
we have some magical realism going on.
That's
down here.
exactly it. And isn't it, you know what, in a weird way, but it causes you to look at yourself. That's the first thing, right? That's the sign. That's the universe. But the other thing is, it also lets you know that the world ain't what it seems, right?
Oh,
and it's
not by
right.
a long shot.
No, it's right there in front of you.
Not by a long shot.
Hey, David, great to hear your voice, my friend, and enjoy
All
the
right,
rest of your
thank you.
weekend.
My best to Rita.
Thank you so much, David, and she's listening. Thank you so much, man.
All right.
All right, it's Thursday night. It is Fadernight. It's open lines all night long. All right, so if you are there, stay there. I'll be taking all of your phone calls next. Be right back.
Hey, what up, y'all? It's your girl Vivica Fox here, and you are listening to my boy, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter.
But listening to Jimmy Church will.
Hurricanes, earthquakes, wildfires. This year we've experienced more than our fair share. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and last month I decided to make sure my family does not have to worry about food should we get caught in a real emergency situation. Introducing Numana, a healthy, storable product that tastes so good that you'll want to eat it every day instead of just during those times of duress. All Numana products have a 25-year shelf life, are MSG and GMO-free, no preservatives, and are made in America. With the Numana pack in your home, you'll be able to sleep at night knowing that you've protected your family. Not only have I tasted and tested, I own it. Now you can too. Just click on the Numana banner on JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code Jimmy when you order. In addition to a discount, we'll send you an autographed Fade to Black t-shirt. Seriously, go Beckley Tappy. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I take Life Change Tea supplements every single day. It's what I do. Click on their banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy.
Hi, folks. CBD is the home run hitter for health right now. Why, you ask? Because of what it does for the body. Unfortunately, I can't tell you all about the benefit. You know, there's reasons. Do your due diligence and log on to AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com. Ancient Life Oil uses organic ingredients and is blended in coconut oil for some of the best benefits. Legal in 50 states and non-psychoactive. Log on to AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and my family is safe because of Numana Emergency Food Storage. Just go to the Numana banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com. Promo code Jimmy10.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
Erica, Brittany, Gabby, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
It's not a lifestyle we chose. We were born this way. KGRARadio.com.
This is KJCR at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, it is Fadernight. Open lines all night long. Great calls tonight. I do want to thank Damon T. Berry for coming in at the top of the show to give us the update. He literally disappeared for a year and a half. It was a pretty scary situation that we went through, but Damon T. Berry's back. Great phone calls tonight. Twitter's been amazing. And with that, let's just go straight back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Mr. Church, how's it going? It's Jason from Baltimore.
Hey, Jason, how are you?
I'm doing well. Great night, great week, as usual. So, I just made some couple notes on the week. First of all, if I can start the Bashir contacts, man, he's such an eloquent speaker. Like, the way he takes what would usually be considered supernatural and he brings it into corporeal and blends science with spirituality, man, it was really nothing I'd ever seen before, or heard before, sorry. And it's kind of funny, some of the way he describes his thoughts on time travel and multidimensional mirror, some of the thoughts on some of my other favorite speakers, or people from history, like Mr. Teeter, and it's funny how a lot of what he says correlates to some people out there. But then his explanation on the Mandela effect makes it plausible, and it sort of lines up with the multidimensional theory. It was really interesting to hear him speak. I'd never heard him before. I just wanted to thank you for having him on.
Yeah, he's amazing. Amazing. Just amazing.
He was. So let's go. Can we go to deep fakes for a second here? And my concerns.
Sure.
Okay. So I'm really having a problem with these things. I feel like they're prepping us for all manner of plausible deniability, and I feel like at some point, if you extrapolate this down the road, I wonder if it's going to lead to celebrities and political figures, and to some degree, normal people sort of lining up to copyright their face and copyright their vocal patterns, and lining up to get themselves scanned just out of fear of being manipulated on the web. And sort of in that way, they line up to be cataloged, and they go willfully into like a system that catalogs them and everything about them. It seems like we're going down a slippery slope when everything you see can be manipulated.
Well, yeah. See, look, it used to be, and it's not that kind of party anymore, but it used to be if you were in court and it was like, oh, yeah, but we've got you on tape, right? And they roll that tape and your face is on it. That's it, right? It's over. Now it's not that kind of party anymore. You've actually got a defense, right? You've actually got a defense. That ain't me. That ain't me. Somebody put my face on that. And this is what I was trying to make the point of earlier this week a few times, in that now we are forced into defending the fake stuff, and now, or is it real? Right? So now we've got to prove that the real stuff is real and that the fake stuff is still real, but it's not real. And wait a minute here. And that's what I need everybody to realize, is that we are not talking about a fake video. The videos are real. If AI is manipulating somebody's face on the video and it's first generation video, it's not a fake video. The video is real. What you have to now prove is that it's not you in the real video. It's just like, it's going to get complex.
Really sticky. It's going to get complicated.
Yes.
And it's going to get so complicated. I mean, this is just my personal opinion, that it's going to lead to people, having okay, you need to do digital mapping on this video. You need to compare it to what you have on file for me. but that means you have to be on file. You know, you have to have your vocal patterns registered. You have to have that stuff already in a system. So do you think that people are going to, you know, with the threat of deepfakes, are going to line up in droves to go ahead and take my vocal patterns, and then you're in a system already. Like, I know we're already kind of there, but it just seems like the threat of that could lead to more concentration of information. You know, it seems like we're really, I think we've hit a tipping point with AI. Like,
yeah,
I really think we don't realize we've hit it, but the beast is, well, Pandora's box has been opened.
See, and
we're too stupid to know that we're already caught in the system.
That's right. And see, this is where it gets really, really twisted. And I don't think everybody's really grasping how serious this is. And it is this. When you have, I can take your face, Jason, and place it on somebody's body, and then on somebody else's face, and then I write a script, I type it out, I feed that into the software, and the software now makes your face talk, right? And wait a minute here, it's not fake. What I'm trying to say to everybody, it's actually it's a real first generation video. And that is a bizarre thing for us to start to wrap our head around. And it's also going to create, now we've got, you know what, this is my prediction, this is my crystal ball. Now we're going to have deep fake police. And we're also going to have, it's the next thing, deep fake attorneys that are going to specialize in this, in its defense, and you are going to have the deep fake police that are going to be prosecuting. And it's the
you're going to have copyright. You're going to have copyrighted faces.
All of that.
Copyrighted voices, copyrighted gait patterns. I could see it getting to the point where they measure the distance between your kneecap and your femur and your hip bone. Like, they are going to copyright everything about you and have it registered, and people were going to go willfully to get this done, just so they don't get faked. And I think the general population is going to do the same thing. And it's really scary, the amount of information that people are going to willingly give up just to prevent themselves from being manipulated online.
That's right. That's right. And we're right. It's not like this is something that's 10 years in the future and we're seeing the warning signs. This is now. This is today. This is real. That's Steve. Now. Yeah, that's the now. That Steve Buscemi, Jennifer Lawrence video. If that doesn't scare the crap out of you, I don't know what will. I mean, that is man.
I showed that to a couple friends of mine, and the reactions were mixed. I showed it to a friend of mine. He's like, "That's really interesting. It's cool that they can do that." I showed it to my brother-in-law. He immediately was picked up on the fact that, oh my God, how do you trust anything you see on TV anymore?
That's it. How do you trust? Right.
You can't trust. I hate to be that guy that automatically says, I don't trust anything I see anymore. I really don't. You could get different news organizations broadcasting somebody saying something that is bent towards whatever view their viewership wants to see.
It could be anything.
If you only watch that program, you're only seeing that viewpoint, and you never see the other side. It's really scary that truth is really not a thing anymore. There is no truth other than what you choose to perceive it as. And I understand, if you get into quantum physics, yes, truth is in the eye, like what you perceive it to be. But we're talking about politics here. It's a little bit different, but it's completely manipulated. It is scary, and I don't know what the antidote is for it other than turning everything off, shutting everything down, and just living your life in your sphere of influence. Don't pay attention to anything. I don't know what you do at this point other than completely turn everything off, shut everything down, and say, I'm not participating in anything anymore. because everything can be manipulated. I have no idea what the truth is, and I'm just going to live my life interacting with the people that I have contact with, and that's about all I can do. Because how do you engage in an argument with somebody when you have no idea if what you know is even the truth of a situation?
Well, and thank you, Jason, for the phone call. I'll give you.
Before you go.
Well, actually, I've got like 8 minutes left, and I've got 5 calls on hold. 8 now.
I had one question about your accident, your almost accident the other day.
My what? My what accident?
You remember the almost accident you had with you saw people in the corner?
Uh-huh.
If I could just sneak it in real quick. Okay, what if that you saw those people, and the reason that you noticed those people was because in another dimension that you had that accident, and those people were witnesses. And those witnesses were directly related to telling the cops what the story was. So they saw that accident, but in this dimension you had a psychic link with them because they had seen the accident, and therefore you were drawn to notice them, therefore causing you to pump the brakes a little bit. And that's why, you had a sort of a psychic feedback with them, and that's why you were able to pump the brakes and avoid getting broadsided.
Yeah,
Sorry,
exactly.
I didn't mean to take up the time.
No, you're right. You're right, Jason. I agree with that. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, my friend.
Thanks, Jimmy. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, thank you. Imagine, let's get back to the deep fake really quick, and it's this. Imagine something as nutty as this, and it can be done, right? You got a film clip of, let's say, Trump. I'm just speaking out loud. Okay, Trump and Putin, they're walking. You can't hear what they're saying, right? But you can see their face, and somebody shoots a video of them, not broadcast television. Somebody shoots a video that you've never seen, and then they turn around, take that video, and manipulate it. So Trump is saying things like, "Okay, man, I just sent you $100 million in gold bars. Thanks." And Putin says, yeah, okay, we're all good, right? Okay, so the deal is on. Yeah, okay, fine. And it's all manipulated. It's that simple. And this isn't a video that is out there. This is somebody's private. That's one example. And that can be done anywhere. And what I was trying to say earlier this week is if you have a video that nobody else has got, you shoot the video, then you can do with that video whatever you want. The reason why this UN video got debunked so quickly is because the original video was sourced. So now we know that one of the two is not real. It's that simple. But you take it to the next level. You shoot your own video, you do your own thing, and you insert it, and boom, you're off to the races. And that for me, that is what the craziest part about all of this is. The software is there. It's available. You put it in. If somebody wants to manipulate it for whatever the reasons, they can do it. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, this is Wilson. I'm from Houston. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, Wilson. What's on your mind, man?
Well, I listened to last night's show with Patrick Wood, and one thing that kind of caught my attention was if you remember, you talked about how nukes will never be used, and y'all had a nice conversation about that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so have you ever heard of the New American Century? It was a think tank by some members of the George Bush administration.
I do remember that. I believe I do, if that was the name, but yes. Yeah.
So one thing that it's in that the paperwork. It's Rebuilding America's Defenses, and one thing it talks about is biological weapons that can target specific genotypes.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, and it says. And not only will it be used for warfare, but it can also be a political useful tool.
Mm-hmm.
So for the last night's discussion, I think that's the way that they might purge the population would be through something like that, or that type of biological warfare.
Yeah, it's very interesting, Wilson. And again, that was always my question. How would they pull it off? My guess, I think there's actually, for me, there's two ways to do it without war, right? You don't want to have nuclear war. You don't want to blow the planet. You don't want, if you're an elite guy, you still, I guess if you're going to reduce the population, but you still want to hang out on your private island in Fiji, right? That is polluted with nuclear fallout. So how would you do it? I think two ways. One, weather manipulation, right? You can cause a drought in a country and starve them out. Or you could hurricanes, right? There's that aspect of it, natural disasters. Freeze them out. You can even freeze them out. You can heat them out. You can cook them out. But there's that, and then, of course, disease, right? Some kind of biological thing. And if you were able to, like you're saying, right, target a genome, target a DNA type, target a group, well, there you go. And and I remember reading about that, and I would only imagine that that kind of stuff is being worked on, up at Dugway, over at Sandia.
Yeah. Well, this document is from 2000, so it makes you wonder how far they've gotten by now.
Well, do you remember? And thank you for the phone call, Wilson. Do you remember the neutron bomb? Are you old enough to remember that?
I'm 25. So
you don't
I'm
remember.
Not sure.
Okay, so back in the 70s, they created this new nuclear weapon, the neutron bomb. And it was a nuclear weapon that would leave buildings standing but kill anything that had a pulse, right? And it was this crazy thing. You could look it up. Neutron bomb. And it was just like, how sadistic are we getting with this, right? Where we're going to kill all the people, but we're going to be humane and leave their homes standing. And that was, so think about that. It's kind of like going back to what you're talking about there, this targeted weapon. And that was always one of the most disturbing things for me. Wilson, enjoy the rest of your weekend, man. Thank you. Excellent phone call.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's a great phone call right there, Houston, Texas. Oh, I forgot to ask him about the weather. What is going on in Houston? Texas is getting frozen out too as well right now. All right, let me see here. I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to put this one on hold. They're listening right now too as well. Let's go right here. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's up?
Hi, this is Julie.
Hi, Julie.
How are you?
I'm doing good. Where are you calling from?
California.
Oh, so you're warm. Okay, all right.
Well, not really. It was a hell of a day today.
What part of California are you in?
Southern California. Had a lot of lightning and thunder, which we normally don't get, which was like awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. I heard it starting to fire up, and I was like, okay, here we go. I looked out the window. Sure enough, right? Okay. What's on your mind?
Dude, I'm wondering, are you aware of what is called the PHP shell?
The PHP shell. Tell me about it. What is it?
Well, the PHP shell is wrapped in the PHP script, which you use in your computers. And I'm a little nervous, and so I'm kind of trying to correlate this with all the other callers that you were talking with the AI, right?
Right.
How they're using this system to have their hackers using this PHP shell in order to infiltrate your system, and you don't even know that they're infiltrating your system.
Okay, so a PHP shell is a shell wrapped in a PHP script. It's a tool you can use to execute.
It's a tool that you can use to execute an arbitrary shell command or browser, or your browser of your firewall in your file system of your remote system. And this replaces a degree of normal TELENET connection and to the lesser degree of the SSHA connection.
So what's your fear about it, though? I mean, I know that you can...
people are access that what the caller previous to that and the other caller previous to that.
Uh-huh.
They're all saying, we have this supposedly AI, right?
Right.
And that's how they're infiltrating our systems, is because I don't want to call it a back door, but that there's a script in there that's allowing people to take over your web browser, your website, in order to, like redirect or transfer files onto your computer in order to hide files. Kind of like espionage.
Yeah. That's I know that there are.
I don't know enough about it. So listen to me. I'm telling you what I just learned today, and I'm trying to catch up as fast as I can.
What's that?
Because this stuff is the knowledge of all of this, the systems and what we're going through. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That I don't know enough about it, but I'm sure maybe somebody listening to you that they know about the PHP shell that's wrapped in the PHP script, and they know how people can manipulate and get into your servers, and that you don't even know that they're in your server. That's a great concern.
Yeah, and they move big chunks of files
right.
around with it.
Right. And that you don't even know that they're doing it, and then maybe, let's say, they want to implicate you in a crime or something. I'm not saying that you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's a big part of the.
You never know. You really never know. I know that, and this is what I do, Julie. My computers have nothing on them, right? They have nothing on them. Nothing. I don't do anything.
Well, I say that too. I have nothing to hide. So if you want to, I'm an open book. I'll dox myself, right?
Right.
I have nothing to hide. You want me? Come get me. Because you know what? Don't you come after me? I will fight till the death. Right?
Yep. Oh, Julie.
And then on the other hand, I'm listening to your other callers that are calling in about experiences that they had with unexplained lights in the sky, you know what I'm saying, or experiences. And I mean, I'm an older person. I'm in my 60s, and I had an experience when I was in the third grade where our teacher was teaching us how to astroplane in class, and I fell out of my chair and I hit my head and I went into a coma and then had a concussion. And then I started thinking to myself, WTF, who in this world teaches children in school to astroplane? And then they take those children out of class and then they put them in other special classes. And then I started doing a lot of research into, as it came later on it didn't happen until after the murder of Lavoy Finicum, that I started connecting all my little dots. And I'm like, what are these people doing to us? It's like we're all like lab rats in a lab school trying to figure out, I don't know what they're trying to figure out or what they're trying to help us make them figure out. But I just think this whole thing that's going on is just wrong.
That's right, Julie. And that's why you have Fade to Black. And enjoy the rest of your weekend. And you're my last call of the night, so thank you so much for that.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, Julie. PHP Shell. There you go. PHP Shell. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. What a great Fader night tonight. I want to thank everybody that not only called in, Damon T. Berry. Oh, don't you feel better? Damon T. Berry is okay. Fade to Black's executive producer is Rita Camurian. Show is produced by Hilton J. Palm, Renee, Dennis, and Bob. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vitoa, Mark D. Kovar. Webmaster is Drew the Geek. Music, Doug Aldrich. Intro, Spaceboy. SpaceboyMusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network, and syndication is KGRA, The Planet. It's broadcast owned and copyrighted 2019 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black or the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. I got the weekend off. It's called yard work. We'll see everybody on Monday. Have a great, safe weekend. Until Monday, go Beckley Teppy.